that I haven't seen in a long time will stop by tonight. And so all that stuff is great. It just I think it's a fun night for everybody. I know Channing's going to be there tonight, and most of the guys, right? Most everybody's there tonight. I think Hawk's out of town, and
I think most people will be there. I know Davion Mitchell from the Heat will be there.
Oh, good.
Bernie,
good.
the Heat dancers. So
Heat dancers, always good, always good
yeah.
there. So anyway, we got So just we do it once a year, and tonight, if you got some time, you're bored, or get a night out, or want to bring your wife out and the family, come on out and say hello to us. Love to see you. And starts at 6:00 tonight, and so should be same location, Woody, right? Same place.
Yes,
same place, same time.
Cigars and Spirits in Plantation Walk.
All right, man. Sounds good. Sounds good. We got a lot of stuff. Plenty of stuff going on, as you just mentioned, rookie minicamp. And I know today a lot of guys are going to find out more about how they're going to be used and where they're going to play, and start to get a feel for it, especially why a lot of the veterans, not that there's a lot of veterans on this team right now, but a lot of the veterans won't be there. And so you kind of get a feel for what they want to do with a lot of the young guys and how they want to play them. And they are going to be seeing some different positions a little bit used differently than they were in college, and the whole works in some cases. So, but I want to say a few things that over the last few days, and reading everything, and sitting there and sick as can be, going through this stuff and having a chance to do a lot of watching everybody. And power rankings came out from ESPN to Finns have a tough schedule. Yeah, last year's schedule was not a very difficult schedule. I'll be the first to tell you that 7-10 team did not have a tough schedule. Just did not have a very good football team, but not a tough schedule. And got pounded in some cases in a lot of the games. 6 games absolutely blown out. But this is a new year. But I do want to remind everybody, because everybody's talking about the power rankings, and we're dead last. And honestly, if you look at the unknown, for good reason, and as much money and dead cap space, I mean, we're talking, this is the highest number of dead salary cap space in the history of the NFL since they've had it. Just to give you an idea of that. And all the unknown. Right now, we don't have a lot of young talent. Now, the coaches are driving in. They're going, well, what do you mean we don't have a lot of young talent? No, I'm not saying that we couldn't have with this draft class. And last year's draft class could develop, and we could have more. But if you're looking at really young guys that are really good, we've got 2 guys that you're all in on. And, Patrick Paul and Devon Achane are the two 24-year-old guys, but we don't have a lot of young talent. Now, got 3 or 4 guys really good from 28 to 30 that we really like. 4, 5, 6 guys in that age group. And then we have a lot of unknown. Only development will tell. Only coaching and the future here quickly we'll find out, because we're depending a lot on what they've added this year, because they had to clean it. This thing got totally cleaned. So, it's basically, we can't offer you a lot of money, but we can offer you a chance to show the league that you can play. And that's for undrafted rookie free agents, because there's going to be a few of those guys make the 53-man roster. No question about it. And also veteran free agents that are here and basically all got the same deal. All got the minimum that, 1.3, 1.4 million, that if they make the team with bonuses, incentives and all those things. But I just wanted to, just a reminder, we might be. And hey, Joe, what do you think? How many games we going to win? I mean, that's a tough one. You get that at this age, and you're going, I don't know. What's Vegas say? They say 4.5 or 4. Yeah, okay. So you're not mad at that? No. We cleaned house. We had to. It was a mess, and it couldn't get better. It's going to have to get worse to get better. So anyway, that was kind of the thought, and we'll get into all of it and the guys. And, this is the time of year, your big draft class. a very important draft class. And if you really cut it down, the first 3 rounds of that draft class, really, really important how good those top 6 guys are. So, yeah, all those things. And it starts today, getting all the guys out there for a little Friday, Saturday rookie mini camp. And some of our media guys will be out there today and be part of it. We got a lot of other stuff to get to here this morning as well. And we'll be jumping into all kinds of news. By the way, kind of weird last night. Anybody watch Draymond Green and Charles Barkley on that show? I don't think Draymond Green's a great fit for that show. I don't. I listen, Draymond's spent time with Draymond, and he was around us for a little bit here and enjoyed going out with them, and he was great. He's, night we were with him, it was in Seattle, and it was pretty fun. But I don't know if he fits in with that show with Charles and Shaq. And I give Charles credit because he said something to Draymond to pretty much get him going about, hey, man, old guys you're not going to win any more championships. That thing's done in Golden State. And that's what's so great about that show. That show, and Draymond, of course, said, yeah, nobody wants to look like you did when you were with Houston at the end of your career. And Charles just kind of sat there and took it and the whole thing. But the point is, that show, even with Shaq out and Draymond in, it's still by far the best show going, because those guys, those other shows don't do that. First of all, they can't. Stephen A's in there. You can't take shots at Stephen A. You're done. I mean, it's just a completely different style of show.
I think the stuff between Shaq and Barkley always seems to be in good natured, right? Like, Draymond Green seems just disrespectful. We were talking about this yesterday. Like, he just seems disrespectful. Like, also really hasn't accomplished much in his career.
Well,
I know he's kind of been like the fourth wheel on that team, and he's won his championships there, but he's not Charles Barkley.
No. You're right.
Draymond Green ain't going to the Hall of Fame.
What's that?
Draymond Green isn't going to the Hall of Fame.
I don't think so. I don't think so. But is he going to get in for?
No, he's not. Draymond Green's not a Hall of Famer, Joe.
I don't know.
I just found his stuff with Barkley, like the Rockets comment, to be just like almost just disrespectful. Well, I don't think he's out there joking around. Like, his
I
stuff
think we're all just kind of
mean-spirited.
waiting. Is Charles just going to go? Okay, let the young guy go ahead.
Yeah.
Look at Draymond on TV is never going to be Charles Barkley, who does make fun of his weight. They all do, and on top of that, has made fun of his golf swing. Charles has opened up. Whatever you think of Charles Barkley, and look, he's had his moments where, he doesn't take guff off people when they go too far and throw guys through windows and other things when fans went a little over the top with them. But he is there. There's a reason. It's just not some accident. He just happened to be the right guy at the right time with the right personality. He knows how to make fun of the fact, and everybody takes shots at him for not winning a championship. And look at the guy. He's a hell of a player. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the final numbers look like, but obviously he's a Hall of Famer and has been a Hall of Famer. But yeah, it is. The Draymond Green thing was like that show. And listen, there are times when Charles and Shaq do get mad at each other, but it's still funny, and it's not mean-spirited when they get going, and and I think we see less of that with them because there's respect, and they realize how good that show is with those two guys together. But they're always throwing shots at Charles. Like, Charles is numb to the whole, hey, you haven't won a championship, and, hearing all that stuff. But, yeah, the Draymond Green thing, wow. Watching you, I remember you when you're in that Houston uniform at the end of your career. It's like, oof. See how Charles could have gone, yeah, well, you've never seen, your game has never been my game offensively, but that's not his thing to get into who's, better offensive player and all that stuff.
Someone on here is ripping Draymond. Like, I find Draymond to be very unlikable. I do.
He is.
I know that.
No, I agree.
I know that you've known him or whatever. And
it doesn't change.
Guy, but
no. I think for a guy that takes pride in being such a great team guy, I think he's really he's run some guys out. I mean, he's
made a lot of dirty plays throughout his career, right? He's been known for taking cheap shots at guys. He's been known for just being the way that he plays and his complaining and, constant just crap.
I think he's an important part of it, but make no mistake about it, he's not Steph and Clay.
No, he's
in their prime.
Man.
And of course, Clay's on the downside of his career, and Steph's just been amazing as the greatest shooter we've ever seen. And even Kevin Durant being there obviously was a big piece of those guys getting a championship as well, whether you like him or not. And but yeah, man, that thing it's interesting. They picked him to come in there and the stuff taken. But hey, man, you know what? If you can't laugh at yourself a little bit, probably those shows aren't great. If you can't have a little fun with things that have happened. But Charles been really good, man. Whatever you want to say about Charles Barkley, I happen to be a huge fan, and he's really good with us when he's in town. He used to, when he was around, he'd come up and want to talk to you for a second. He didn't try to big time you, and but he's always been comfortable in who he is. And I think at the end of the day, he realizes making this kind of money at this age, he wins every day of the week. Right? Is there just a point when you just you put your ego and you just step back and guys are taking shots at you and stuff? And, we now this thing, and this has really kicked in recent years about how many championships have you won? And you're like, I don't know, but I was damn good at what I did. And you just kind of step back. And I'm relating Charles Barkley, obviously, to a guy here in town. And I go, look, man, I've spent hours and alcohol, lots of alcohol, talking to the best quarterback down here that we've had throwing the ball. And we've talked about this topic, and I wasn't going to bring him up at 6:14 in the morning. But look, man, he like, look, I didn't win. I didn't win the big one. It's going to bother me forever. He's been very open about it. Biggest regret he has is he never was able to win a championship. And you look back at what you did and you didn't do and how close, whether it's a kicker missing one or not getting a stop or, late in games if he made a bad throw or threw a pick, whatever it is, he came up short after we went to Super Bowl 19 and played the 49ers. And he thought, like everybody else, we'll be back here. We're going to be doing this a lot. We've just done it twice in 3 years, and we were feeling pretty good. Then all of a sudden, you don't go back. You don't go back at all. And for him, but he got nothing. I think finally at some point, you just go, you know what? I was really good at what I did. I know it. I don't need to tell anybody. I've been very successful financially, and I'm good in my skin. I'm good in my skin for what I've done. I'm good. And I don't have to say anything because everybody else knows how good I was at what I did. And I know that a lot of other guys, Joe Montana calls him the greatest quarterback of all time. And Joe's sitting over there. God bless Joe Montana. What's he got, 4 or 5 championships? I don't know what the number Joe got. But, yeah, man. So Barkley, but he's out there still doing these media shows, but he wins every day. I don't think you saying, hey, dude, you didn't win a championship is going to really affect him. Really going to affect him at this point with everything he's been able to do in his career. Hey, anyway, we've got a lot of other stuff to get to here this morning. Got a lot of news. I guess this Vrabel Rossini thing, I was coming in. I walk in here this morning, and they got the national show on, and the guy's doing a breakdown of the latest of Vrabel and Rossini. It's amazing. It really is amazing. It just doesn't go away. So next week, do we have more new pictures come out from, we've got them now in, up in Nashville? Was that where it was? Nashville, out on a lake.
Well, now everyone's betting on whether the guy will coach week 1. That's the new interesting one. I got to think, unless something horrific comes out, that he'll be there. I don't see any scenario where they fire him over this.
He'll resign, but he will not. He's not going to get fired.
Yeah, but I don't unless something horrible comes out, like if she goes on a podcast.
I don't think she's going to do
that.
That. I keep hearing that she's going to come out and spill the beans. And
even if she does, though, what more can she say than like we've already kind of pieced together here?
So my gut feeling is she's sticking, and I don't know. She's like nothing ever happened. I know the pictures don't look good for either one of us in our relationships. I know the pictures don't look good. It's not normal when people are going, how would I handle that if it, I'm sure a lot of husband and wives and boyfriend and girlfriends have sat around and going, I got to tell you, if you're pregnant with my kid and you're out on a boat, your ass is gone with some other guy. So I look at friendship is one thing, but how much more do you need out of this thing? I mean, I know it's a topic everybody has an opinion. It really is the topic that everybody has an opinion on in that is aware of this now. Everybody. And these pictures keep coming out. By the way, why did all of a sudden those pictures just pop up after all these years of them going to rent a boat for a couple hours, going out in a lake? I know it's weird. I mean, I do know that it's not normal for two people married to somebody else to be doing this, but I just wondered, like, how were the pictures? What's next? Who else is sitting out there with pictures waiting to just slowly give them to TMZ and keep this thing going? What a wild, wild story. Hey, we've got a lot of other stuff going on here. Marlins get a nice win last night. Finally, break that little losing streak. Liam Hicks is just on fire. 9th home run. 34 RBI for him. Nationals in town for a 3-game set starting tonight. Otto Lopez, Xavier Edwards. Xavier Edwards has been smoking hot. Javier, his brother's probably not a bad player, something I wear up in North Broward too. Probably a good player, Woody. But right now, we want to take a second to tell you about your South Florida Chevy dealers this morning. Well, I'll tell you what, it is a great time to stop by your South Florida Chevy dealers and start to check out the new SUV family like the Suburban, the Tahoe, the Traverse, the Equinox. Man, we got something for everybody in the whole family. Great look, all that space, all the technology inside you could ever want. And then right over to the beautiful truck family we have too. Yeah, it's so much more. I always say the SUVs, Suburbans, the Tahoes, the Traverse, the Equinox. And truly, man, there really is an SUV perfect for you. But then we get to our heavy hitters, the big trucks, man. A Colorado and a Silverado truck. Boy, powerful, durable, and ready to make sure you get exactly what you need out of a truck. Whether it's a Silverado 1500, maybe it's a Silverado HD. Well, we got one perfect for you. Visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers today for outstanding offers going on this weekend. If you get a little time, stop by one of the 14 dealerships throughout South Florida. Take a test drive. Fall in love. Chevrolet, together. Let's drive.
May 30th, the casino at Dania Beach has it all. Enjoy new exciting promotions, the hottest slots, great shows, multiple dining options, live poker, and simulcast. Plus, new members can win up to $5,000 in free play. Join the fun at the casino at Dania Beach.
All right, welcome back, and good morning to everybody out there. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. A little football fix for the Dolphins and the rookie class. A little two-day minicamp starting today and tomorrow for our local guys to go out and watch in the media, by the way. And then, of course, we'll have OTAs and more minicamps and the whole deal here for the next month. And change here for get an idea what everybody's going to do and fit in and the whole work. So that starts up today. We got a bunch of other stuff going on here. Just to jump ahead, this 76 team basketball March Madness now up to 76, and it is a lot of teams. You know, I was thinking because college football's knocking on the door for 24 teams. Soon as the Big Ten and the SEC, who are the complete pigs of this whole thing, decide. But it's most likely it's going to go to 24 teams. It's a lot of teams. And by the way, it's a lot of teams that don't have any shot to win a national championship. None. So it's kind of like there are going to be some teams that get in, and we'll still bitch. You know, I like 12. I do. I like 12. If they did go a couple more, I'd be okay. I'm just working off last year for just a second. How many teams, forget the teams that did get in. There are two teams that, you know, for everybody that's always screaming the little guy's going to get screwed. Well, the little guy didn't deserve to be in it because they both got their ass kicked last year. Both teams from smaller conferences that played against the big boys, and they got pounded. Not good for them. Not a good look for people going, they shouldn't be part of this thing. But if you're to get past that and those two, how many teams really were left out last year? Notre Dame? Yes. Notre Dame would have been as competitive and been able to beat some of the teams in that tournament. No question about it. Notre Dame, in a perfect world, if you could have, Notre Dame probably would have been one of the teams that you would have made an argument if you didn't have to cut it off that they should have been in this thing. But how many other teams do you look and go, they kind of got screwed, they should have been in? Not many. Not many. It's pretty good. A lot of people didn't think Alabama should be in.
Well, we went over the list of teams the other day when they started announcing this, and we were looking at some of those teams at the bottom, and you know, the ACC would have gotten a couple more, but I think the SEC would have had 6. You know, Big Ten would have had 5.
Yeah.
Big 12 would have had a few in there. But, yeah, you're talking about 3 lost teams that are all going to be fighting for these final spots.
So now,
if you want to get rid of the conference championship games, then I guess it's okay. I don't know if people care. You know, Miami hasn't really had much involvement in that conference championship game. So I don't know.
No.
Do people care in the other conferences about their conference championships? No. I don't know.
If you're going to go to this system, they're going to have to
rather get in the playoff than play in the ACC championship.
That's going to be done, and they're just going to take the 2 highest record teams, and then even now they're going to look at Miami was behind teams in their conference that did a better job in conference play. And Miami got in because of who they played, who they had wins against, and deservingly so. Nobody's complaining about, Miami looked like it. Everybody thought from the start of the season and then wonder what happened there for a split second. And then they came back out and finished strong. Barely got in, and then damn near won the whole thing. So, but 24 teams, I don't know if we have 24 good teams in college football ever. You start flirting, basically your top 20 plus is what you're talking. You're going to start talking about a lot of teams with 3 and 4 losses getting in, aren't we? Are we going to get the point down there at the bottom? 3 for sure.
Well, I think the point is to get more of the big conference teams in, right?
Correct.
I mean, look at the basketball tournament. And look at the team Miami played in the basketball tournament. They want, SEC teams that have a 500 record.
Well, we heard Auburn,
the
right?
Auburns of the world. Yeah,
yeah.
But that team Miami played was terrible. That Missouri team, that's the kind of teams they want.
Hard schedules. Our schedule and our conference are a lot tougher than everybody else's. And
I thought this was one of the least entertaining tournaments that I can remember this year. I mean, you didn't have the dramatic upsets in the first round. You didn't have the Cinderella teams. And I know that there's a lot of separation now between the haves and the have-nots. Right. And I think you're really starting to see it, like the separation between the tops and top and the bottom. But man, this NCAA tournament this year was just it's not what it's been, man.
Well, 24 teams, we have too many in basketball. Absolutely too many teams. But
you can't let 76 teams into the tournament. It's just stupid. It completely devalues the regular season. Especially if you're an SEC team, like, oh, finish 500 and you're in.
24.
You shouldn't be rewarded for being mediocre.
Let's flip it to the football side. 24 teams. You're taking the top 20, which is a big deal, right? Top 20. And you don't have to be top 20 and you're going to get in. Whew. You talk about teams getting in just to get one playoff check. I mean, my God, that's crazy. And then you're right, Woody. How many teams? This has just got when in doubt, you go to Big Ten. When in doubt, SEC team gets in. When in doubt. And so what are we going to basically put half their conferences in this thing? I don't know, man. But
you want schools like here's who would have made it, Jake. We did this the other day. You want Iowa at 8-4?
No,
they were ranked 23rd.
Not good enough.
You want Georgia Tech at 9-3?
Nope.
You want Houston at 9-3?
Nope.
Let's see. You want Virginia at 10-3? Michigan was not very good last year. You want them 9-3? Arizona, Southern Cal. These are all 3 lost teams, man. That would all have gotten in. That's what your playoff would have been.
I get you. No. So anyway, they're going to water this thing down in the name of playoff money, which is going to be a ridiculous package of money. Whoever ends up paying for it, but it just keeps changing, man. The old college programs that are put together and the way we know it is going to look a lot different. I do like the playoff system, though. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to leave it up to a bowl game and who had the best record at the end of the year and those days of UM and Florida State that were so great and you had one loss and we're sitting there screaming at the end of the year. We couldn't get in and that really good UM team that played the Florida Gators kicked the crap out of them in New Orleans, not, having a chance. And nobody was going to beat that team at the end of the year.
Wonder what kind of teams we're going to get in the Pop-Tarts Bowl moving forward here.
Oh, man.
We're going to get like 6-7 lost teams.
Well, I got news for you. Those are in big trouble. They keep doing
as
this.
ESPN's paying for them. I'm guessing they're not going anywhere, right? They want to fill those time slots in the middle of the day.
They better
during that holiday season.
They better patch them up before players decide I'm out of here. I'm not staying around for that. I'm leaving because you have a lot of guys transferring. I don't know, man. I don't have any answers. I keep hearing we know we got some problems. We got to take care of it. I don't see it. I don't see it. So anyway, it's a little frustrating, but 24 teams for college football playoffs. Good God. Man, everybody's alive and well, 24 teams. Now, all of a sudden, some of those smaller conferences are going, wait a second, man. We lost one game or we went undefeated, and we got to get in. We got to get one of those 24. Anyway, we got a lot of other stuff to get to here this morning. We're just kind of getting started. But NBA, boy, how about this, Knicks? I know it's too early, and I know I'm not saying it's over, but the Knicks and the Pistons both 2-0 to start this thing. The Cade Cunningham and Jalen Brunson show, not bad at all. Not a bad way to go. Oklahoma City and beating up on the Lakers again. Hey, Woody, got to ask you, LeBron, I don't remember the last time I saw after a game all the players stand around officials to tell them how bad the officiating is.
By the way, the officiating stuff is getting nauseating in that league. So There's two parts. I don't know if you're a Jaylen Brown. So Jaylen Brown is ripping the officials, right? Going on podcasts, ripping refs, and it's like, really, man, that's your hot take on why you guys blew that series,
right?
The officials. That's such a weak one.
Correct.
And then I don't know about you, but I'm getting sick of watching games and watching guys do that stupid thing with their finger every single time there's a whistle they don't like. Where they're asking the bench to challenge the play. Meanwhile, you only get 2 challenges in the game, but. Yeah. I mean, these guys are every single whistle they're waving their fingers, begging for a challenge.
So
it's gotten bad, man. You got to play through that stuff.
I'm asking everybody out there this morning. So LeBron not getting calls, and LeBron, who used to seem like LeBron got all the calls not too long ago. I listened to everybody else saying, "Oh, LeBron gets all the calls because he's the best player," and that. Now LeBron, as he's getting older, doesn't get calls. And then watching all of those players around the officials last night to ask them about what was going on with the calls. If they think that's why they lost that game to OKC and they're down 2-0, they better get back and the coaches all over, and I understand the coaches got to defend his guys and say the officiating is, and LeBron can't. That's what you do. That's what head coach's job is, to defend and protect and everything else, their best players. That's what they do. It's been going on forever. But this thing with the officiating, is it that bad, folks? Is it that bad? Or we just got an unbelievable amount of wine and cheese going on right now? Because the whining is ridiculous in the NBA with this officiating right now. It is unbelievable. And it's a tough job. I think we all admit you could call fouls all the time, going up, and they slow them down. And do you see contact and 2 big bodies going up, and LeBron falls down at 260 pounds, and people going, "Oh my God, he got knocked to the ground." Oh man, oh no. I like to hear somebody say we got our ass kicked instead of always officiating.
Yeah, the Jaylen Brown thing was pathetic, man. It's just so weird that that's going to be your take as to why you guys lost that series, or you're going to go on a podcast and start blaming officials.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Jaylen Brown thing with
these guys need to decompress a little before they start going on these podcasts, because now, people start saying, "Oh, he doesn't like Jason Tatum." They're going to that thing again, that he doesn't Jason Tatum.
That we have that every year with those two.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing somewhere in there, they're not crazy about each other and hanging out. I would agree. They're probably not hanging out together. But yeah, and then you tell who was that? McGrady that came out and broke that? Who was that? One of the former players said, "Oh yeah, I had to sit down with Jaylen and tell him, man, you need to get along with him. You guys could do great things together." And I'm like, oh my God. And then Jaylen said that never happened, and I'm like, whew, man.
It's just very strange to go on a podcast like that and just, you gain nothing from doing it. Now look, you're a headline.
I will tell you one thing.
Nothing from doing it.
Jaylen is not the most liked player in the NBA, and that's across the board. Stephen A goes after, he gets everybody blasting him pretty good. Hey, right now I want to tell you about Chillzone AC. Let's take a break here for just a second and talk about something very serious, and that is keeping your house nice and cool. Chillzone Air Conditioning can do it for you. President Melissa De Verona, family owned and operated. The president takes all the calls every day. All the calls that come in, she answers to make sure you have a great experience with a company that's been around a long time. I always say this. One of the biggest problems we have out there right now is the terrible reputation that air conditioning companies have. It's just bad. It's sleazy. It's dirty. They don't show up on time. They don't know what they're doing. You never know what you're going to get billed on. You never know this. You're not sure if you're getting a straight answer. No, it sucks. The whole thing. But when you deal with President Melissa De Verona at Chillzone Air Conditioning, you're getting really good people that's ready to make sure you have a great experience. She is fantastic. And I tell everybody, she's going to help you. She'll get you all set up, make sure the crews and all the people that go out on all of those trucks every day are going to make sure you have a great experience. So make sure you call her, whether you need a new air conditioning unit, you need service on the one you have right now, or anything else going on with your air conditioning unit, you know she'll do it the right way. And whatever she says is going to go. Tell them you heard it right here on 104.3 WQAM, 786-378-2778. Stay chill with Chillzone Air Conditioning, and make sure you give them a call. And make sure this, if you're not happy where you are right now, Chillzone Air Conditioning will take good care of you.
today in Miami Gardens. Joe, the schedule expected to be released next week. There was a lot of people talking yesterday. The tickets went on sale without the exact dates. So I think, they were saying like they gave an advantage to the visiting fans and just locked their dates in. I don't know if that matters, but
I don't know.
Hopefully they can fill that stadium for those games this year.
I have no idea. The Dolphin, you talking about Dolphin schedule, right? Yeah. Hey, they got a tough schedule. You look at the names, and starting, by the way, with New England and Buffalo, who you face twice each. And then on top of that, you look at some of the teams they're playing. But look at this thing, and I know our fan base. I get it. I don't know if it's kind of just when you walk up to somebody and you're like, "Hey, what do you think of our team this year?" It's just like, "Hey, okay." I said, I like some of the changes we made and like the new GM and new head coach. The new quarterback, I'm excited about. Yeah, those three moves I'm really excited about. But because people want to know, well, how many games do you think we'll win? Well, what do you think? That schedule, what do you think? Hey, it's tough. This whole thing is going to take a step backwards as far as the things that we care about, winning games. It's doesn't have enough talent yet. We'll find out what we have and how quickly it can develop. But as of right now, for just counting guys coming in who haven't played yet, and what you have returning, you got 3 or 4 really good veteran players, and you've got 5 or 6 really good veteran players. You got a couple really good young players, and we got a bunch of unknown on this team. And that's not trying to be a downer on it, because I like what we're doing, but 13 draft picks, and we'll see how quickly they develop. That's probably how good we're going to be. Finn's just the numbers. This I don't know, 182 million. I don't know if I saw 160 million, 180 million as far as that dead salary cap space. It's a lot of money, man. That's the highest number in the history of the NFL, just to give you an idea. What we're doing a lot of things we haven't seen before. And this is what our GM and our head coach, they knew when they got the job, like what it was going to take, and it was going to have to be ripped apart and cleaned up financially, and that's where we are. So, but it is exciting if you just look at young guys coming in, putting an emphasis back on the draft again, and not trading away, trying to get just guys that have been good on other teams to come down here that cost you a lot of money and do it that way. And we did that. We tried it. We tried that. Gave it a shot. It didn't work. And it didn't work because we didn't win a playoff game. So it didn't work. Now, it was fun to watch. It was, great feeling. It was fun to see that kind of play and everything, but never got us a playoff win. Not one. And the 1 year, what'd we average? 29 points a game, whatever, and just didn't win a playoff game with it. So it didn't work. You can't win playoff games. It didn't work. You can't win your division. It didn't work. And so now we take a step back and we're going to run it the way it should be run through the draft, and it probably going to take some time. And I know I'm like you. I'm running out of time. I'm like you. We get older, we're running out of time. And so, but when you ask me how many games we're going to win, I don't know. There's a reason they have us in the. It's not that ESPN doesn't like the Dolphins right now. Somebody said, I don't think they like us. What do you mean? What don't you see? Like, take your blinders off. Look at what we're doing. That's how you become on the power rankings dead last. What we're doing, what we have done, and what we're cleaning up. And so that's the situation and the schedule. Look at, I don't know, what they say, second toughest schedule in the National Football League. It's a tough schedule. But for everybody going, boy, you got to win games, and our owners getting older. Yeah, Steve Ross getting older. What is he, 85? But he better be patient for another year or so. He's got to know more than anybody sitting in those meetings with the rest of those guys on that committee of guys that help make these decisions. The over-under in Vegas is 4.5. Over-under on wins is 4.5 games. So here we go. Let's get going, develop it, see how it goes, and see what they're able to put on the 53-man roster and get it started, and see if they can't surprise some teams and develop quickly and stay healthy and have some success. But I understand when you look at what we look like right now at a lot of positions with the unknown. I mean, you're counting on guys that haven't played a snap yet in the NFL. How quickly can this thing come together is going to be big for this whole thing. So that would be my take. If you come up to me tonight and we're having a drink together and you go, "Hey, Joe, got to ask you, man, just me and you. How do you feel about this thing?" You know what? Same thing I said on the radio is how I feel. I love the people that are here to get it turned around, but it's going to take a second. It's going to take a second or two to fix back up. It's not going to happen overnight. It's just not. And we got to find out if the quarterback can play. Hopefully our offensive line, look, this is kind of the start of something, the 5 guys we have. And that can be, boy, that would go a long way. How about starting 5 and they stay healthy? How about that one? That would be nice. That'd be a nice way to start for this whole thing, to kind of set the tone on this whole football team as our starting 5 on that offensive line. Find the 5, see them play all year together, and see how good they can be. That would be a fun one. But I'm curious, like everybody, man, see what the 53 is going to look like and how good they'll be, and get coached up, and then we'll go into the schedule and we'll see what it looks like. But that's all I can give you, man. What Vegas is saying, or ESPN and their early power rankings now that the draft's over and everybody's roster's kind of put together here as far as having an idea what it's going to look like. We got a lot more stuff to get to with the 7 o'clock hour coming up. I think we're going to catch Omar Kelly on his way over to camp this morning. Kyle Krabs will join us. We'll talk to him. Mike Florio will join us as well. So we'll have a lot of stuff to get to here this morning. I do want to take a second this morning to tell you about Recovery Unplugged for just a second. And to everybody out there, hey, Mental Health Awareness Month is going on right now. And it's important, man. It's I don't know if it's affected anybody out there through family or friends that you've noticed, man, you're going through something, bud. Let's get this going. You were never like this before. We can help you, whether it's depression or anything else. If your mental health just needs a little comeback season, whatever sets you off, and going through divorces or losing your job or some things have just changed in your life and you haven't been able to get out of that little funk you've been in, I'm ready to help you get a comeback season going right now. Recovery Unplugged Behavioral Health is here to help you with the beautiful mental health residential program right here in Fort Lauderdale. They've helped over 20,000 people nationwide with expert care, music-based healing, and innovative treatments like ketamine therapy for depression, anxiety, and trauma. Make this the year you put yourself first. Call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplugged.com. New year, new you. Recovery Unplugged. Heal out loud.
home of the 5-time national champion Miami Hurricanes, the back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, the 3-time NBA champion Miami Heat, Miami Hurricanes basketball, and now the new home of the 2-time World Series winner Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Miami, we go to the beach for a little solcito, and when we want a low price, we know you pay less than a Pricito de Mayo at Doral Hyundai. Starting with baseball, the Marlins, who avoided a sweep with a 4-3 win over the Orioles. A throwing error in the bottom of the ninth gave the Marlins the win. Miami will now welcome in the Nationals for a 3-game series beginning tonight with the first pitch at 7:10 from Lone Depot Park. And the Hurricanes beat Louisville 13-8. Game 2 of the 3-game series is tonight with the first pitch at 7 from Mark Light. And the Dolphins will host rookie minicamp in Miami Gardens this morning. The Dolphins' 2026 schedule will be released next week. Time for weather brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Storm season is coming. Make sure your home is ready. Get your free roof and window estimate today. Visit tornadoroofing.com. We're at 73 degrees and no rain in the forecast. The Joe Rose Show continues now. And it is time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood Hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on set, one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com. Joe.
All right, and we got rookie camp today. First day of rookie mini camp. 2 days, today and tomorrow. Omar Kelly joins us this morning. And Omar, how'd you like getting up early every morning, my man?
For you, Joe, anything.
Oh, thank you.
It's such an honor to fill in for you, Joe. I don't want to rub it in, but you know you're a legend around here.
I don't know about all that stuff, Omar. You're too much, man. You're too nice. Hey, let's get into what you're expecting to see from all the new guys today. Going to be kind of get an idea how they're going to be used as the team's now had a chance after spending a lot of time with them, going through this whole process of the draft and or even picking them up as rookie free agents. What are you looking for in these first 2 days?
Really, all you get to see is you're able to size them up because, it's things have changed over the years, Joe, to the point where rookie draft picks don't even participate in rookie camp because it's filled with tryout guys, and nobody wants their draft picks to get hurt by a tryout guy. So it's really that rookie camp is about teaching these young players what feels to go to when the whistle blows, the body mechanics that they want them to do the drills with. So we're just going to really get a gauge of testing of athleticism. And for me, the biggest thing I got to see is some of these sizes. Is Caden Proctor, is he big or is he heavy big? Is Michael Taft the size of a nickel cornerback, or does he look like a real legitimate safety? Same thing with Kyle Lewis. Is he a linebacker size player, or is he really a player that can transition to safety? Does he have the speed to play safety? I know he timed in I think he was a 4.5, 4.5 like 1 or 4.53 guy. That's safety speed, but does he move that way when he's going laterally? So those kind of things you're trying to look for, and probably some of the defensive ends. Max, I can't even say what his last name
Llewellyn.
is, and Llewellyn, Mason Traeger, an undrafted guy who was a priority undrafted free agent. Can any of those guys help you set the edges? Because right now, I think that's the biggest concern I have for the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's an interesting one with the pass rushers, obviously important. And they got some guys at, 6'5", 250 to 260, like you said, Rager and Llewellyn, and a guy they even drafted higher than that of the guys, plus the veteran guys that'll be coming back that have had some success and trying to keep their careers going. But that's kind of what this whole thing's going to be about, isn't it? Like veteran guys that signed on the cheap coming here to try to get their careers going again, or these guys trying to have breakouts from the start. I mean, man, if I was a rookie free agent, one of the first places I'd told my agent, hey, I see what they've done out in Miami. That's where I want to go. If you can get me on there, man, let's go, because you got a chance, right?
I felt, and I've always felt this way, the way Steve Ross gives out guaranteed money and contracts, and the fact he doesn't, if it's under like $5 million, Steve Ross really doesn't care. It's like pocket change to him. So why would they not like guarantee half of the rookie contract to the top 5 or 10 undrafted free agents? Steve Ross don't care. And it's not like you're going to sit here and eat a ton of cap space if you cut them. It's going to prevent teams from poaching them if you put these players on the practice squad. I just, and they've given out some really impressive contracts to undrafted players. And I'm shocked. I saw Mason Rager at Bommarito's camp, and he was probably one of the top 5 guys that impressed me. Physical, built. He's a little bit stiff, but when you're a defensive end, it's not like I'm asking him to be an outside linebacker and dropping into coverage. I just need somebody to set the edge. Hopefully these young players and can really contribute. And truthfully speaking, we're going to learn how well John Eric Sullivan is at evaluating talent. And to me, that's what's going to set this franchise apart from what they've done the last 20 years.
I got to ask you, because I know sometimes, how people come up to you and they're like, hey, Omar, what do you think of the schedule? Or what's the other? Hey, how good can we be, man? I saw the power rankings. What do you tell everybody about how good the team can be this season? I'm just curious.
How good is Malik Willis going to be? Is he a bottom 20 quarterback, or is he a top 15 quarterback? That's really going to determine where this team is. The talent from playmakers. I'm writing a column right now. I know it's not a very popular opinion, but I think Kevin Coleman Jr., the slot receiver, the last of the receivers drafted, I think he has a real good chance of being a huge impact player when it comes to this rookie class. I think he can go in there and immediately win that slot spot. It's not like Malik Washington was actually doing anything in it anyway. To me, this team, it comes down and can they set the edge? Can they set the edge, and will they get respectable safety play? Those are, to me, those are the 4 things that, obviously the offensive line blocks, but those are the 4 things that are really gonna dictate to me how well this team can play, because Malik is gonna have those moments where he's got to deliver on a 3rd and 8, and he's got to make a tough throw with a blitz coming, or he's got to connect downfield to one-on-one with a wide receiver after scrambling out the pocket. Chop Robinson and Josh Uche, they're going to have to set the edge. You can't set the edge. You cannot pass rush on 3rd downs, because nobody, we saw that early in the season last year. Nobody was trying to throw the ball against the Dolphins because they couldn't stop the run. So, that's how Cleveland bludgeoned Dolphins to death up there early in the season. You have to be able to stop the run. And I really don't know how they're going to do it this year, because you clearly didn't get any edge players. Well, actually you did, but did you make it a priority? And then safety play. Your guess is as good as mine. Who's going to be the starting safety for the Miami Dolphins this year? I can't call it.
Yeah. One of them's going to be Trader, don't you think? From last year, there's a good chance. They liked him a lot last year. I know he didn't get to play enough for you and stuff, but I think they liked him a lot. I like him.
They did, but they are gone. So they did, but they're gone, and they didn't play him. So there's no excuse. The people that he played under aren't employed by the NFL team right now.
Yeah.
So you can't sit here and say, and I get it. These guys are trying to win. They're trying to save their jobs, but you got to be better. You got to be, but that's my perfect example. And Trader is one of the reasons that I say it's going to be hard for you to coach 13 rookies. And Joe, I know that it's possible, but it's going to be extremely difficult. Go inside, Mila. It's going to be extremely difficult to do.
Well, it is, because you don't have a lot of veteran players on this team right now. Hey, first of all, I got to tell you, man, I've been around this like you have for a long, long time. We've never seen anything like this. I probably should have started the show, because the Finns dead salary cap space, whatever the final number, I've heard 182 million. I don't know what the number may be. All I know is it's the highest number in the history of the NFL. So what they have done, clearing off the cemetery money here, is we never see anything like this, not even close to it, Omar. So it's kind of hard to explain to people. Like, yeah, it's driven by a lot of young dudes and or a lot of guys getting a second chance that are coming here to kind of get their careers going on the cheap. That's what this thing's about.
It's really about, John Eric Sullivan said something a term that I've used on the airwaves with you. It's just it's a roster full of rookies and minimum guys.
Yeah.
Now, who's to say that some of these guys can't play? I'm sorry, but Tutu Atwell, he could play. Say whatever you want about him. Tutu Atwell could play.
I thought Tutu was really good with the Rams. I do. I thought he did a lot of good things, and then they kind of just they're not enough target. That's kind of the story here, right? Not enough targets to go around, so some guys lost some snaps and targets.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes injuries factor into that. When your opportunity comes, like a perfect example is Lonnie Johnson. He was a second-round pick for the Houston Texans. His opportunity came early. Every time his opportunity came, he got injured. And then they eventually just passed him up, and he became a career special teamer, hung on in the league. But who's to say that he can't be an NFL starter? I honestly don't know. The film will show us that. The play and exhibition season will show us that. Ethan Bonner is another perfect example. Ethan Bonner is one of the few cornerbacks I've ever seen in the Dolphins uniform who can run with Tyreek Hill. Now, big guy, physical, got size to him. When his opportunity came last year, he suffered an injury in, I think it was the final training camp preseason. So we never got to see what Ethan Bonner could do, but he got an end zone, interception in the end zone. He contributed to the Washington win, getting that fumble that took him to overtime. We don't know what Ethan Bonner can be. At one point, Brent Grimes was a practice squad player, and then he got opportunity and he rose to the occasion. That's what this season is going to be about. We're going to be able to see who will rise to the occasion, and maybe if we're lucky, we get four Zach Sealers out of this situation.
Yeah, well, this like I said, man, this is a completely different situation than we've been in due to what happened this offseason and cleaning house. So it's going to be fun to watch and see what happens. By the way, so far. The way the GM and the way the head coach have handled things, I tell you what, man, you couldn't get off to a better start. Their communication with you guys and with which goes to the fan base. Hey, man, just give it to me straight, right?
Absolutely. What I love, and this is no knock on Mike McDaniel, but Jeff Hafley takes 30 seconds to communicate something that would take Mike McDaniel's 3 minutes. That's got to be beneficial to the team at some point. But truth be told, I don't know if he can coach. I wrote a story earlier this week about an interview he had with Richard Sherman where he acknowledged and admitted, I'm spending most of my time working on offense, learning offense, because, I made that mistake last time when I was a college head coach where I could only really coach one side of the ball. Well, this is something that's important that I can honestly tell you I haven't seen here since maybe Tony Sperano. Joe Philbin couldn't do crap on defense. Adam Gase couldn't do crap on defense. Brian Flores couldn't do crap on offense. Mike McDaniel couldn't do crap on defense.
But what's crazy about that? I got to tell you what's crazy, and I can't speak for Jimmy Johnson and what he was like, but like Don Shula spent all his time in our offensive meetings. He never went to a defensive. He never got up, no matter how bad the defense was.
Yeah.
When that thing was on automatic pilot with Marino and the passing game, he never went. Let me go talk to those guys. He did not step in. When Arnsey was around, he did not dare. Bill Arnsbarger, he did not dare go down to that defensive room unless he was ready to put on and start calling plays. So I just thought that was kind of normal. I swear, I like very few coaches get involved in both sides a lot.
I don't know for certain, but I've talked to Dan Campbell and Dan. There are certain coaches like there's certain coaches that just touch every aspect of the field and every aspect. And I'm not saying that Mike McDaniel didn't help with game planning or strategy, but you knew it was hands off. You know it was like, okay.
Oh no, he turned it over. Like when he got the old grouchy guy, that guy. Hey, listen, man, there was no doubt.
Big fan, Joe.
Hey, Vic, it's your deal, man. Like you're here, brother. We're paying you a lot of money. You go get him. No, I ain't touching your deal.
We knew we couldn't even ask Mike McDaniel defensive questions because you don't know. But that, I respect that Hafley is trying to, well, obviously with an install and you want to, it's your offense. You want it to look good. You want it to, and you're a defensive coordinator, so you know what challenges our offenses. That's the reason I believe he's always going to have a mobile athletic quarterback. Even the undrafted guy that they signed is a mobile athletic quarterback, just because he likes that. He believes it truly challenges defenses. So it'll be interesting to see what this offense looks like, how much play action they're going to install, how much movement of the quarterbacks they're going to install. So
I'll tell you, you hit a really interesting one, though. I was just thinking about this with the all the rookie wide receivers and the veteran guys that are coming back and the rookie, the veteran free agents. That's going to be some interesting stuff because the guy you were talking about, the wide receiver you like, man, he does a lot of things Malik does, and I'm curious to see. You think he might be better at it. I saw his highlights, and, his run after catch in the middle of the field. He's really impressive.
He's great at creating separation.
Like I tell you, Malik's going to be a bitch returning kicks. He's not going to give that up. That's going to be a tough one for somebody to take away. I thought he was really good at it a year ago, especially on punts.
Yeah, not, and this isn't a knock on Malik. I just think Malik is probably a better flanker than he is a slot receiver. A slot receiver, you've got to be able to create separation. You got to have a little bit of wiggle to you, and I get it. Malik is a solid, decent returner, but when you're averaging, I think it was like 4 point something yards per reception, per attempt thrown at you, you're not creating that much separation.
No, it was bad. It was not good. Those yards per catch were not good.
Yeah, and obviously the whole offense was basically sucking on fumes last season. I'm not going to say why or how. Well, the team stopped believing that they could throw the ball past 25 yards. So
we're all trying to let last year go because Woody's really been working on me. Like, hey, can you let it go? And I know sometimes, Omar, it's hard because you got to, before we get ahead, you got to say what was wrong last year. But
yeah,
I'm trying, Omar. I'm trying to let it go. They're all gone. Everybody's gone. And
yeah, it's like cancer, man. You can't think you're terminal if they go in there and cut out all the parts that got cancer, man.
Well, that was a strong one. Well, that was strong right there. All right. Hey, Omar, thank you, man. Appreciate you coming on, helping me out a little bit here with this voice issue I'm having. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate you, Joe.
All right. Omar Kelly from the Miami Herald joining us this morning. Talk a little bit about the Dolphins and getting set. We've got a lot more stuff to get to here this morning. I do want to take a second to tell you this morning about Harvey Cohn and Gary Judah. Yeah, the partners of Cohn and Judah Injury Law Firm, personal injury attorneys in plantation, and do such a great job. They really do. They care, man. And you're going, well, they all care, Joe. What do you mean by that? I don't know, how much can you care when you just do commercials and you're not handling cases? I mean, you care on behalf of the other guys you're going to hand me off to. I liked you, man. You're the one that said all the nice things looking into the camera. Now I find out you don't handle cases yourself. It's a handoff firm. Nobody wants a handoff firm, man. I don't know about you, but Gary and Harvey have their name on the law firm, and they're the ones going to handle your case from start to finish, big enough to go to trial and get you multi-million-dollar results, small enough just to call you back. 30 years of experience each, man. I'm telling you, go to ConanJudah.com, read the reviews, people who really care that you can always get a hold of. They think communication while you're going through this slip and fall or automobile accident that's got you in pain and you want to know what's going on and you want updates on how your case is going, you're going to get it from Harvey and Gary. You never have to worry about that. I do know that. Known these guys for a while. 866-FAIR-FEE. Remember this, they don't pay other lawyers to do the work you hire them to do.
WQA.
Atlantic Men's.
Every single day. Do you want it cold or colder? Chillzone.
Miami-Dade. The traffic report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach. Slow-moving traffic along Florida's Turnpike and northbound from Northwest 27th Avenue to before mile marker 50. Also seeing that traffic stacking up this morning along the Dolphin Expressway eastbound from the Palmetto to Northwest 17th Avenue. The good news, no major issues. That's traffic. I'm Amelia Escobar on FM 104.3, and you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
And welcome back. I want to thank Omar for spending a little bit of time with us this morning. We've still got a lot more. Kyle Krabs will join us, and Mike Florio will join us a little bit later on. The news of Aaron Rodgers, shocking. He's going to be coming back, most likely to be the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. By the way, I know a lot of you don't believe this, but he had them by the basketballs. He had them by the big basketballs. Aaron Rodgers looked and got Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, and Drew Aller. I threw 24 touchdowns last year with nobody to throw to, 7 picks, and we won the division with a 10-7 record. But if you're wondering why he hasn't signed, he wants a little more money. He didn't want that little 10% raise. I don't blame him. He clearly better than all those guys, folks. He's better than all of them. You tell me whichever favorite guy you liked. Oh, Will Howard and how good he was. Or if you think Drew Aller's got a chance to be the guy and Mason Rudolph all of a sudden is going to get good. None of them are close to Aaron Rodgers at 43 years old. I hate saying this too because he's really jerked this team around. He has put one of the great traditions we have in professional sports, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and what they stand for. And he literally has had them acting like he's controlling everything. It's hilarious. They're like, well, we'd like to know by the draft. He didn't know. You'll do it when I say. I'll let you know when I'm ready to tell you. You're not telling me anything. I don't care if it's the owner. Well, we'd like to know. And the team goes, no. Aaron, you let us know when you're ready. No. You don't think they know, and they've matched it up. Man, my eyes, I've seen it. I saw it last year against Pittsburgh, and I saw it the year before when he was with the Jets, unless he just plays really well against the Dolphins, which maybe that was part of it, because he just chewed us up. Last 3 games, hell, we helped put him in the Hall of Fame with the way he played against the Dolphins. But, that was no surprise to me. No surprise whatsoever. He's sitting around, and they're adding quarterbacks, young guys, and he's like, okay, you're trying to win right now. You're the Pittsburgh Steelers. How are you going to do better than what I did last year? Seriously. You don't think he had a pretty good idea? They were begging him. His former coach was begging him to come back. Hey, man, I hope it wasn't me at Green Bay. And, hey, man, I'd love to have you back again and all these things. So he's back, man. He is back. By the way, we've got a bunch of other stuff here to get to. This live thing, I'm sorry. I've been listening to all these live guys that live on the tour, all talking. Bryson DeChambeau just sounds like a friggin' clown. He really does. So every day it's a little different message. A couple days ago, it was, I want to know if those guys want me back because I have a lot to offer to that tour. They could really use me. And now he's coming out and saying, well, they had to let a lot of people off. I don't think they're in very good financial shape. They had to let 50 or 60 people off in their main office. And so, look at, man. And now he said there's a whole bunch of guys on the tour that they're all talking now. Now all the live guys are getting ready to play this event this week. So now all of a sudden they're doing a lot of yapping. Look at, man, nobody's begging your ass to come back. If you don't want to come back, that tour is going to be fine. But we love to have a few of you for sure. We got 2 of the guys who are really good. We obviously DeChambeau would be a nice piece to get. John Rahm would be a nice piece to have. Johnny Ram, love to get him. But honestly, you guys got a bunch of guys we're really not interested in. That's what they're saying. PGA Tour, you got a bunch of guys too old. Phil Mickelson will never have a PGA event. Hell, he barely plays now. He's got personal stuff in his life. I hope everything's okay with his wife, who's had a bout with cancer, and I hope that's not it again. But for these live guys, God bless the fact that you guys have already made a bunch of money. But if you don't like the way the rules are in the new place, and they're not going to change for you,
Well, no one's going to feel bad for these guys. They got their money, but I guess this DeChambeau guy's going to go and host a YouTube channel or something.
Yeah.
That's where he's going to play his.
By the way, good luck. So he's going to play the majors and YouTube. He thinks that YouTube channel is going to keep his game sharp.
Well, clearly nobody, I say nobody. There's about 20,000 people that watch these events, but I don't know that anyone could pick Bryson DeChambeau out of a lineup, Joe. If he walked past me right now, I would have absolutely no clue what he looks like.
Pretty good idea.
Most of these guys, to be quite honest, I don't know what any of them look like, but Bryson DeChambeau,
I think a lot of people.
Joe, he could walk past us in the parking lot. We wouldn't recognize him. Come on now.
I would.
Zero personality.
I would.
Zero charisma, any of these guys. And that's why their thing completely failed.
So his game's got personality. He says stupid stuff. But hey, by the way, part of this thing is like, you don't have to be the most liked guy. They're looking for guys that are just good players, but you're never going to like every guy in golf.
The amount of money that thing lost is astounding. I mean, it really is truly incredible how much money that thing lost.
I'm really curious to see how this thing is going to end, but now a bunch of those guys are saying, I'll never play in the PGA Tour. Okay, you don't have to. That's a beauty. You can go play on a European tour. They've got their own tour over there if you want to go do that. You don't have to, or you can just play in the country club and just collect that money you've made, and hopefully you invested it well, and a lot of you are set for life. What's a guy like Dustin Johnson going to do? I mean, he's made a lot of money too. I don't know. His game hadn't been very good. I don't know. These guys go, we kind of like this, and this tour cared more about, I don't know. Look at, man, you guys went through $6 billion real quickly.
Maybe they'll find someone else to fund it for him. Keep it alive, Joe.
Good luck. Just it's taking a back seat. They didn't chew up the PGA Tour the way they thought they would. Boy, there's a lot of bad blood between players.
What a weird sport to invest in, too. Like, of all the sports, like, you're going to try to make like an alternate league. Golf was the one that you chose. I just don't see, like, outside of the majors, I don't know how much demand there is for PGA Tour golf to begin with, Joe. But to decide we're going to make another league and play all those, have the concerts with the DJs and all the, all that other stuff that comes along with it. Like, I don't know why they thought that would catch on.
I think Phil felt that Phil Mickelson, kind of leader of the charge. Remember when Phil got salty and got real salty with this whole thing? And
like, I don't know how well golf is going as a sport. Like, you'd have to talk to someone who works at a course, but I don't know how well it's going. Like, I know there was a time when a lot of the courses seemed like they were struggling, right? They were closing because nobody, young people weren't getting involved in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's changed.
I don't either.
But like, I got to think the target audience for something like Live has got to be guys in their 20s.
I don't know.
College age kids, right? I mean, the music they're playing and
I never
that kind of atmosphere.
It never crossed my mind on a guy that likes watching the PGA events. I'm not going to watch the weaker events they have, but the strong fields and
I just don't know, like, their target audience. Like, are young people still going out and picking up the game of golf? I know that courses were having trouble for a while there.
I don't think the Live Tour did well in this country. I think it did well in a few other countries. But I would just say this, man, this thing, because there definitely some bad blood in case you can't read between the lines with some of these guys going, I'd never go back to that. And they don't want me. And now we got Bryson DeChambeau going, first of all, before anything, I want to know, do the PGA players want me back or not? It's weird.
They just hit him with a nobody cares.
No.
Do whatever you want. Go host your YouTube channel.
They're going, but we want to give you the same deal we gave Koepka. Your ass got to go back on the mini tour and you got to sit out for a while. That's what's going to happen. I don't know. It's crazy. All right. Hey, Woody, we've got more stuff to get to here this morning as we continue on. Coming up at 8 o'clock, we'll talk to Kyle Krabs, host of Locked On Fins and NFL analyst for A to Z Sports. Right now, I want to talk to you about where a lot of our athletes go when they get injured in town. Baptist Health South Florida, man. What a great sports medicine program they have put together. Enter Miami, the Heat, the Florida Panthers, the Miami Dolphins, all trust those great doctors that they put together. You can't have a top sports medicine program if you don't have surgeons and top specialists from around the country to take care of every part of the body, and that's what they've done, man. It is one of the tops in the country for a reason, not only taking care of the Heat and the Panthers and the Dolphins and Inter Miami, but taking care of high school, college, and professional athletes and all the rest of us here in town. For knee, shoulder, foot, and ankles, back, hip, and knee replacement, Achilles. You know how this thing works. If you're competitive and still playing sports, you get injured sooner or later. It just happens. 3 great facilities, too. Really good facilities to go to. Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, Hard Rock Stadium, and, of course, 595 in Pine Island in Plantation. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. One goal every day. It's about getting you back out playing the sports you love the most.
$98 and Argentinian red shrimp $4.50. Wild Fork, better meat, better value. Everyday staples, always top quality. Wild Fork Meat and Seafood Market, open now in Homestead.
You're listening to The Joe Rose Show. This hour is brought to you by Baptist Health.
Joe, before we get back to it here, let people know about our big event coming up tonight. WQM's Whiskey Stars and Cigars presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. It's going to be a Tabacone Cigars and Spirits Plantation Walk. We'll get it started at 6 o'clock. Davion Mitchell will be there from the Heat, Bernie, the Heat Dancers. You can get a Scotch whiskey from Johnny Walker and a cigar from Drew Estate. The event is free. Just stop on by. If you need more info, WQM.com. You must be 21 or older. Again, that is Tabacone Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. It is presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. 4 brands, 1 location, your local Cadillac, Buick, GMC, and Chevy dealer.
Man, if you get a chance, this is the one time a year that is really cool because you get a chance to come out and we get a chance to sit and BS, not on the air, and just get a chance to meet people that work here at QAM from all the different shows. We'll be there, and so it should be fun, and I look forward to it. I like to stay out there and get a chance to meet everybody, and people that I've known for a while show up, as well as a lot of you that maybe wanted to come and didn't get a chance in the past. Man, I hope you all be able to come out tonight. Really is a night for QAM's listeners. If you've listened to us in Dade or Broward or Palm Beach County, or even coming up from the Keys, man, we appreciate you guys being with us every day and listening to us, and really look forward to seeing you out there, and anything you might want to ask us privately. But I just want to tell you, probably stuff I'm saying, even if I've been drinking a little bit, coming right out of the bed here for this one too. So hope a lot of you will be able to come out and see us. And I got to tell you, the entertainment of Channing is what he is. It's by itself. He's the undisputed champion. I mean,
So I want to say you guys are going up at like around 7 o'clock tonight.
How about we just go out and just do this thing? But we're going up and talk too.
Yeah, you're gonna go up and talk. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You could just tee up Crowder if you want. Let him tell some stories. His stories are pretty great.
Oh, he's got.
Just tee him up, and then we're gonna go on. We're gonna interview Davion Mitchell while we're out
there. Great, man. That's great to get him out there with us. And no, it's gonna be a fun night. And again, if you enjoy or always want to come out and see us and talk and have a drink with us, love to see you out there, man. And one thing about this event, when you come up to somebody, you don't ever have to say, excuse me, or I hope I'm not bothering you, because that's why we're out there, is to see all the people all over South Florida that listen to our shows, man. We appreciate it. So anyway, what else you got, Woody? I'm sorry. I got carried away.
Oh, you want to get to some headlines here, Joe?
Yeah, what do you got for us?
Let's do it. All right. So South Florida NFL rookie Ruben Bain Jr. gives back to former elementary school with a revamped reward room, Joe. Ruben Bain is preparing to begin his NFL journey with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, return to his elementary school, Laura Park Elementary, and he gave them a reward room. And there's some other stuff in here that he's done for the school as well. He partnered with a backpack company. He's donating backpacks, art supplies, murals, and science equipment. So a lot of nice stuff here from Ruben Bain.
Not surprised. I saw he signed his contract, and I figured he'd be investing right back in his community. That's Ruben Bain right there.
Yeah, did you see he was wearing a Warren Sapp jersey when a Buccaneer Warren Sapp jersey when he signed his contract?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Not surprised. Part of the UM family.
Yep.
And hey, look at they've loved Northwestern guys up there for a while. They had what did I say last year? 3 Northwestern players on their team.
All right, Joe. We have a little bit of a legal battle in the bowling industry here. Bowling alley giant Lucky Strike has been hit with a U.S. class action over prices and dominance.
What?
Yes, I know this is a weird story. A group of bowling patrons has sued Bolero and AMF Bowling Center's owner Lucky Strike Entertainment, alleging the company illegally drove up prices and undercut quality in a drive to dominate the U.S. bowling industry. The plaintiffs are 11 bowlers from Washington, California, New York, Illinois, and other states. They're seeking class action status on behalf of at least thousands of other bowlers.
Wow. Speaking of places going out of business, man, bowling alleys.
Well, that's why the story is so weird. I saw this yesterday.
Have been, I think we just had one I thought would never go out of business. Somebody told me the one over on University.
Yes. Spares.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone.
I always think of OJ McDuffie has his tournament out there, and I was like,
yeah.
I always thought that thing was just packed every time you were there.
We just moved up there, and we went there for the first time, and they were like, oh, by the way, we're closing in 2 weeks. We went.
So if anybody ever asks you, would you like to buy a bowling alley, stay away.
Yeah, but that's the thing that's weird about this story is that like anyone can buy a bowling alley, wants to buy a bowling alley. Like if you're not happy with the product that you're getting from this company, I assume anyone can buy a bowling alley. I don't think they have a monopoly on the bowling industry. Bolero operates more than 350 bowling centers in North America. That's 35% of the U.S. bowling revenue, Joe.
Wow.
I don't know,
Wood, but every time I think every bowling alley in small towns, I think they've all just about closed too. So
the lawsuit claims that consolidation allowed the company to raise prices for lane rentals, shoe rentals, food, and drinks while cutting costs by reducing maintenance, staffing, and operating hours.
There's two places that I know bowling does really well. Buffalo and Reno. I swear to God, I'm not making that up, man. I think Reno has more bowling tournaments than any place.
Well, around. Reno is the where they have the bowling tournament at the end of Kingpin. Have you seen
really?
Kingpin?
No.
With Bill Murray?
I didn't know that.
Never seen Kingpin, really?
No.
Woody Harrelson and Bill Murray. You would love that movie, by the way. I'm sure you like Bill Murray, right?
I do.
Like my parents love Bill Murray.
But it has nothing to do with unless it was mob part of it, then I would have loved it.
I think you might like Kingpin, but all right, Joe. We got Tyreek Hill back in court today. He was in court yesterday. He's fighting what are we calling her?
I don't know.
The Instagram model.
This is the what do you call the bigger size models? There's a name they have. Help me out, somebody out there. What do you call the plus size?
That's your wheelhouse.
Plus size.
Okay.
Yeah, you're hanging me to so I finally said it.
I
there
know,
he goes, fat shaming women.
Anyway, this story is still as strange as it was back then.
I thought she's a very pretty woman.
Okay, good recovery. She apparently made Tyreek Hill, look bad. Showed him up at his house. We're playing a training of some kind, and she knocked her. He knocked her over, broke her leg, then gave her a piggyback ride up to his bed, and the whole thing is very.
Well, wait
bizarre.
a second. No. If you're gonna break this thing down, so they're apparently in the backyard, and she's like 250.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's her weight. I mean,
I understand.
This is not a shot.
Okay.
So she goes, and then she wanted to go through the whole thing, and so he decided he's going to pass rush against her, and she apparently had done some pass protection and kind of stuffed him and made him look bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the story goes. Her side. So she kind of blocked him a little bit, and so now, next time he drills her. I mean, he runs over the top of her, and then he was able to carry her up with that bad leg and got her up to the bedroom and had sex with her.
Strange ending to that.
Weirdest thing I've ever heard, from being upset, and they made up going up those steps, apparently.
Yeah. Well, it'll continue on today, Joe.
Plus, he got a hell of a work,out going upstairs. Yeah. Anyway.
What a strange story that is.
That is a weird one, man. Like,
a lot of weird stories going around. That one's a weird one.
Oh, man.
All right, Joe.
That's just shaking. That's a shake in my head trying to figure out, like, well, Kansas City or wherever he can at some point get back. God, the court stuff never stops with that guy. Anyway, what else?
All right, our final one here, Joe. We got a big event coming up on Saturday, WWE Backlash.
Oh.
I don't know I'm sure you've been watching SportsCenter this week. They've been covering it heavily.
Yeah.
Let me give you some odds here, Joe. You'd have to find some sort of offshore, website or something to place these bets, should you want to. But we got the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Roman Reigns taking on Jacob Fatu. Roman Reigns opened up at minus 3,000. He is now minus 700. I gotta think he wins. Like, I don't think they'll take his belt away that quickly.
Okay.
I think he just won it at WrestleMania, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So, do you have a pick? Reigns or Fatu? No? All right.
No, I don't.
How about we got another match here, Joe, for you to bet. We got Seth freaking Rollins and Braun Breaker. Seth Rollins is plus 100, Breaker at minus 140. Any thoughts?
Rollins. Oh, yeah, for sure. Rollins.
Okay. And then the United States Championship match, we have Trick Williams at minus 1,000 and Sami Zayn at plus 550. So Trick, big favorite.
Yeah.
Minus 1,000.
Don't mess with Trick. Yeah.
All right. Trick loves the kids, right?
Trick loves the kids.
So Trick will get it.
That was Trick Daddy loves the kids,
yeah,
man.
Not Trick Williams.
No, come on, man.
I know.
Stop.
Different tricks. I know.
Why are you going there like that,
Sorry.
man?
Well, I'll be watching 6:00 tomorrow.
Have you gotten the boys into that? The boys like the wrestling stuff?
It's not me. So I'm not the one watching that wants to put it on. So it'll be on at 6:00 when it starts tomorrow.
Oh man, Woody. All right.
From Tampa, by the way, Joe.
Tampa.
So right up the road.
Right in our backyard. Yeah. All right.
Reuben Bain country up there. Yep.
Yeah. Reuben Bain. Oh my God. We'll be watching you, Reuben, every damn snap this year. You're now tied to us. Hey, right now I want to talk to you about protecting your home here before hurricane season with Loctite impact windows, doors, and roofing. Hey, man, let's get into it. They want to let you know, hurricane season's right around the corner. Have you done what you need to protect your home? That's bottom line. Have you done everything you can to protect your home? Because I want to let you know Loctite impact windows, doors, and roofing provides 100% financing and zero down. Loctite also offers no interest, no payments for 1 year. If you need a new roof, they do it all. Tile, shingle, metal flat, they do all of it. Not to mention 24/7 roof repairs. You can call them anytime, and they'll come out and patch it up, whatever you need. $6 per month per window installed. Just a few things. They do it all. They cover all of South Florida, permits, HOA approvals. You don't have to do anything. Once you sign that contract, just get out of the way and let Loctite go to work for you. Licensed and insured contractor, ready to make sure you have a great experience. So don't wait, South Florida. Get ready to go. Visit LoctiteImpact.com. Again, LoctiteImpact.com or call 954-500-LOCK. Call them this weekend.
Brad Evans here to help you beat the blues with the best with one sport.
The Pricito de Mayo at the Ral Hyundai, starting with baseball and the Marlins, who avoided a sweep of the 4-3 win over the Orioles. A throwing error in the bottom of the ninth gave the Marlins the win. Miami will now welcome in the Nationals for a 3-game series beginning tonight with the first pitch at 7:10 from Lone Depot Park. You can catch the game right here on WQAM. And the Hurricanes beat Louisville 13-8. Game 2 of the 3-game series is tonight with the first pitch at 7 from Mark Light. And the Dolphins, who will host rookie minicamp in Miami Gardens this morning. The Dolphins' 2026 schedule will be released next week. The Joe Rose Show continues now. And it is time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood Hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale, one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com, Joe.
All right, Woody, thank you so much. Kyle Krabs, the host of Locked On Fins, NFL analyst for A to Z Sports, joins us. Kyle, good morning, man. It's finally here, a couple days of rookie mini camp, and was looking at some of your stuff last night. I am like you. I'm really curious to see how they're going to use Kyle Lewis, because I really believe he's going to be a hell of a lot more than just a special teams player. He was so good in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Good morning, Joe. And Kyle Lewis was one of my favorite picks that this group made this year. And I think in the right plan with the right amount of time and how you go about building his quote-unquote portfolio is going to be a big part of how much you can ultimately end up giving him. But he's physically capable of doing so much, whether it's a true will linebacker off the ball or a sub-package guy or a guy who can kick out and play in the slot as a bigger nickel player. And those are all roles that this group has kind of used to infer that it's on the table for him. So I'm fascinated to find out how quickly he picks stuff up and how fast he buys their trust to give him more things to do, because he's got a chance to be a real Swiss Army knife for a defense.
Yeah, so you don't see him as a pure, like, moving at 220 pounds, actually being like a full-time, like, strong safety back there, do you? You don't ever see that situation, do you?
Probably not. No, I do. I think he's athletic enough to take half-field assignments. Sure, but the question is, where do you play him on early downs and in base defense, right? So I think he's much better suited, in my opinion, when you're in traditional 4-3 to be your will linebacker. And then when you get into nickel, he's the guy who's still on the second level, but is bumped out over top of tight ends. And whether you classify him as a nickel or a safety, and then you can do all your coverage rotations, and maybe he starts in the slot and ends up playing deep half assignments. Like, I think he's capable of doing that, but would I see him in 1st and 10 playing deep half-field alignments and playing 20 yards off the ball? No, I don't think that's probably where you get the most out of him.
Let me ask you about Kevin Coleman. We haven't talked much about him. Omar was talking about him earlier. I don't know how you see him being used, slot inside, but I watch him, and I think of Malik Washington. And
yeah.
What about for you?
I think that's it's one of those picks for me that embodies when they talk about, we're going to be a competitive group. Everybody's going to have to fight, scratch, claw, and compete. Because I agree with you. I think the role that's most obvious for him is the one where you have Malik Washington, who's a third-year player who's on a rookie contract, and they've had some nice things to say about him this offseason. And even the special team stuff, right? Like, that's where Malik found his footing, was the special team stuff. In addition to being a slot receiver, that's all the same stuff. So you'd spend a 5th-round draft choice on another wide receiver that's coming into the fray, and his traits and best stuff, at least with what you're projecting off of who he was in college, is a lot of overlap with Malik. So how much he ultimately earns, is it, well, we want to have Malik more free to do the offense, so maybe Malik doesn't do the special team stuff? Is it truly hey, you two are going at it and may the best man win? You know, it's just another storyline for training camp for all these guys that are fighting for playing time.
Well, I'll tell you what, that is kind of the story, isn't it? They talked about open competition, and I look at those two and I go, man, that's going to be an interesting one. Hey, another one is, and I think you would agree with me, there's going to be some rookie free agents make this 53-man roster. This guy, Mason Rager, is a really interesting guy. Some had him, I don't know if you had him getting drafted. I saw some people had him going in the 5th, 6th round, and he doesn't get drafted. What's your take on his chances as an edge rusher?
Yeah, Riger was a guy I had a mid-late day 3 grade on. I think he had a missed season with some medical stuff, so you never know what kind of influence that's potentially going to have on a guy's draft stock. But I think he's a legitimate threat to make the roster for sure. And there's not a lot of guaranteed money in that room, and I think that's when I look at the guys that they signed in free agency, I'm asking, okay, who, even if the salaries aren't big, who got guaranteed salaries? And
right.
it's Josh Uche, and that's it. So everybody else, all those other guys, the David Ajabos, the Robert Beals, like, if there's no guarantees, then it becomes true, authentic competition. Now, the good news for those veteran guys is a guy like Riger coming in, even as an UDFA, his salary is going to not be that much less than what these veteran players are getting. So it's not like there's a low-hanging fruit for Miami to say, oh, well, we'll just keep the UDFA because he's cheaper. Yeah, it'll be cheaper, but not by a whole lot. So he's got some Riger's got some juice to him. And he's somebody, I think he was the Shrine Bowl defensive MVP or either practice player of the week, one of those two. So he had a strong pre-draft process and kind of declared himself as a player. And I would not be surprised if he ends up getting some burn in the preseason here and some buzz.
So I want to ask you about this one. This is always interesting because we say defensive end and we say edge rusher and guys that on the outside. Look at some guys are going to be allowed in not to be great against a run and just tee off and get there. But there's also going to be a lot of guys going to be asked, somebody's got to take care of the edge, right? Force it back inside, not get blocked, and allow guys to get outside and open up the train down the field there. I'm just curious, as you look at the two groups, how does that whole group and that rotation, including 3 or 4 rookies that are going to have a chance to get those jobs and try to figure out who can do what?
Yeah, I think you do look at the guys that they have as the perceived edge guys, and you see a pretty clear group stand-up outside linebackers. I think Max Llewellyn, the 7th round draft choice, has a chance to be a little bit more of a base end.
Okay.
But I also think about 2 guys that are sets the play out over top of them. Like,
you're breaking up on us there, bud. I didn't get to hear the name. Do we still have him? Is he there? No, we lost. We lost you completely, bud. Here, go ahead and talk. I just got you back there. Try one more time. Go ahead.
Check 1, 2.
Yeah. Okay. Who were you saying has the edge that you like there? I'm sorry. You broke up on us.
I think, no, that's my fault. I think Max Llewellyn has a chance to be that guy, but I also want to keep on Zeke Biggers from last year's class, who I think can play base end with these outside rush linebacker 2-point stance guys lined up outside of him. I think with his length, he's got 35-inch arms. I think that's a great player to put out there over top of a offensive tackle in a 4-eye and let him kind of be the guy who creates knockback to the formational strength, and then you have somebody with some speed outside of him. So I think maybe you get some position flex with Zach Sealer could probably do some of that for you too. And that's where the bigger body guys being the guys that live on the interior with Grant and Phillips.
Yeah.
I think you get some flexibility with some of those 300-pound guys to maybe do some of that stuff for you as well.
What do you like Trey Moore doing? How's he fit into this? Do they move him around a little bit? What's your take on Trey Moore?
Yeah, I think it's informative that he's on the Dolphins roster listed as a linebacker. I think that's very informative, and I think he's got a skill set that can be you think back to a couple of the past few years, and you're seeing Bradley Chubb and Chop Robinson dropping into shallow zone drops. And you'd ideally like to have those guys rush in the passer. I think Trey's a guy who can blur those two lines between, hey, if we're going to fire an inside linebacker from the second level and we need that 7th player in coverage to take a hook, I think Trey can be that player, and I also think he can rush the passer. So I think Hafley will have some good versatility there with him to be able to do some of their pressure package stuff and know if we got to drop somebody, he's a guy who's a little bit more natural in doing some of that, and I think he'd be well served to do it.
Man, can you imagine Trey Moore and Kyle Lewis and the different things that they've already started thinking about that those guys might be able to do in some of these defensive packages they're putting together? Kind of crazy.
Absolutely.
All right, I got to ask you this because everybody, and you must get it. I know I get it all the time. Hey, I looked at the schedule, Joe, and from what you've seen, how good can we be this year as a team? Like, what do you think, man? What do you say to everybody?
Yeah, I think you look at who the players were or who the teams were last year, and you acknowledge that you had a lot of teams that were good teams on the schedule last year that you're scheduled to play this year. These teams can become so different. Now, maybe not to the extreme that we've heard the last couple of years, about 40% of your roster turns over on an annual basis. Yeah. Most teams aren't that extreme, but it is different every single year. And there's teams that, they lose a player and it changes their entire DNA defensively or offensively, or somebody gets hurt. And when you play teams is just as important as who you play. So, you got to play them all and see what happens. There's not going to be a lot of teams that I think you stack the Dolphins up on paper against right now and look at their rosters and say, oh, I think Miami's got more established talent. Right. And I use that word a lot, established talent, because Miami has some talented players now, and they do have some established talent. But a lot of the unknowns about Miami make them very difficult to project, where you feel like you've got a better idea of who some of these other teams are going to be because they have more established players on the roster. So that's I think the disconnect that exists right now is I have no idea how quickly Miami will be, but we also don't know. Some of these teams, it happens every year. They regress dramatically, and so other teams come out of nowhere, and you have no expectations for them, and they're highly competitive. So you just have to play them all and see what happens.
Well, I do know this, man. I've never seen a cap hit like this NFL history. I mean, these are big numbers, right? I don't even know what the final is. At 180 million, whatever.
Yeah, it's 179 and change, but who's counting?
Yeah. Anyway, but that right there, that cripples you a little bit to get in this. But everybody knows what it is. Hey, nobody feels bad for you. Like you said, you got to develop, get these guys ready to go. I think that's going to be a message from the coach. He doesn't care if you're right out of college or you were a backup last year on somebody else's team, man. We're here to win and win right now. So we'll see how that whole thing goes. Hey, by the way, I do want to ask you, how are they going to take care of, and I've asked you this before, a few of the veteran players, is there going to be money left in June to potentially give some new contracts out? Or Yeah, there will be. So, I don't know which ones they ultimately will or will not commit to. And for two of them, with Achane and Brewer, because they've moved money around in those contracts already to kind of help them as they've offloaded a bunch of dead money, those cap charges will go up. But there's a chance they pay Jordan Brooks. Azeez Al-Sayer, a linebacker who made the Pro Bowl from the Texans, the day of the first round of the draft, he signed a 3-year, $54 million contract. And if Brooks got something in that ballpark, his cap charge versus what it is now could actually go down a few $1 million. So they will have the ability to add those big payrolls if they would like, because you're giving a signing bonus to go with it that then naturally gets spread out across the life of the contract. And you only really have this log jam this year and the here and now because you have 60% of your cap that's ate up by players not on the roster. But once June 1st comes, they'll have the ability to do that as they want to. Yeah. Hey, Kyle, thank you, man. I really appreciate you coming on. Have a great Mother's Day with your wife and the family up there, bud. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe. Rest up. I'm also under the weather, so I feel your pain. Take it easy.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Kyle Krabs, the host of Locked On Fins and NFL analyst for A to Z Sports. Yeah, this has been a week from hell. Hey, Woody, this has been a week I'd like to forget about. I don't know where the hell it came from. Sunday night, it just kicked in, and Oh, God. I think as you get older, it takes longer to get healthy again. I don't know. Is that how it is for old people? I guess maybe I'm in that category right now. Hey, Marlins fans, I got some good news, man. We're not done on this homestand. No, they got the win yesterday against the Orioles, 4-3. Got that done. Liam Hicks is just, by the way, go get him. Go get him, my man. 9th home run, 34 RBI on the season. Well, they're not done. The National 3-game set starts tonight for you, and we got a lot of really cool stuff going on I want to tell you about here real quickly. Don't miss it tomorrow. The Barbie game day at Lone Depot Park. That's right. 4 o'clock start. The Fighting Fish are playing the Nationals, and you can score an exclusive Barbie's cap with your ticket package. So don't miss and get your tickets now at marlins.com/Barbie. You have to let them know. One of the biggest promos they have all year is this Barbie game day. It's a big one for you if you want to get involved. And if that's not enough, how about Mother's Day at the Park Sunday? How about that? Featuring a pregame brunch, free Marlins clutch for the first 5,000 moms at the ballpark on Sunday. Don't miss any of the fun. Get your tickets at marlins.com/tickets. And don't forget about Barbie. Oh, no, Barbie's big with the kids. That Barbie cap with your ticket package. Don't miss out this weekend.
And like he finds ways, because I don't think he's the most athletic guy out there on the floor, but he finds ways to maneuver and get to the basket.
I agree. He's not
clearly
jumping.
not
He's
the most
jumping
athletic guy out there, right? But man, he is so crafty. He's such a smart player.
But he gets going one-on-one. He hits a ton of big shots.
I have this weird thought that Philly has a shot still in that series. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I don't see it, man. Not with the big guy in and out of the lineup again. As soon as he missed that second game. Hey, look, they still, they could win both games in Philly, so we'll see if that happens.
Well, you got the second best player in the series is on Philly, right? And Tyrese Maxey. I think you make that argument, right?
Down though, they're making him work.
Yeah, they are making him work. He looked a little tired in that
man.
last game. He looked a little gassed.
He's
out
throwing
there,
up some really wild ass shots a little bit.
Yeah,
for my
he's not
liking.
getting a ton of help, but I still think Philly's got a little bit of a shot in that. Hey, look, they went down to the Celtics and came back and won.
I'll tell you, the nice comebacks, what the Pistons have done, and what they've done to the Cavs.
Yeah.
And by the way, James Harden has turned right back into James Harden. Somebody must have
what
told
did you
them
expect?
We're in playoffs.
James Harden is the greatest regular season player of all time.
Oh, he's just
puts up monster numbers. A fantastic fantasy basketball player.
He had more turnovers.
That's the extent of it.
More turnovers last night than field goals.
But the problem again with the NBA playoffs right now that I feel, Joe, is like, and you go on ESPN.com, the first story, JJ Redick rips refs after loss.
I know.
Jaylen Brown, doubles down on officiating. Austin Reeves screaming at officials. It's like, it's just, it's what point the NBA's got to crack down on this stuff, man.
What can they do? Are they
I know
going to find them?
but you're not finding guys enough to deter
you
them.
can only find them so much.
But there's got to be a way where we get these guys to stop blaming officials for everything. Like Jaylen Brown, that's your hot take. You're going to blame the officials for that meltdown of a loss.
This is this. You know what this almost feels like? Almost feels like, guys going, hey, I'm going to sleep in. I'm not going to show up to special teams meeting because I'm not going to be involved in them, but they have to be there. I'm just going to give you $3,500 because that's all you can find them. So the guy would just rather pay you $3,500. And so they're going to bitch and go, so what? Take whatever the agreement is that you can, when we complain about officials, you get a certain amount of money. And they do it. But I got to tell you, man, it does get old.
It's exhausting to listen
to. It's just like, stop it.
And then every time there's a whistle, Joe, they do that stupid thing with their finger. They're circling their fingers. And like, you really think the coach is going to challenge a foul in the first quarter?
No, it's dumb.
I mean, every play, like, stop waving your fingers around.
Right.
They need to make the rule anyone can challenge. Player starts waving his finger. Great. You just burnt your challenge. Now you're done.
The whining, though, of
it's nonstop.
And look, you're watching the game, and I love my father, but I listen, and I go, Dad, stop. LeBron gets every call. Every time they play Golden State, he gets guys to Dad, stop.
Well, great players get calls, but
seriously,
it's always been the case.
But the officiating, we got to stop the blaming official every time somebody loses the officials. It's such an easy cop-out. And I'm not saying I think officiating is harder than being an NFL official. You want to be honest.
In the NBA?
Yeah.
There's contact on every single
Everyone.
play.
They go up and they go, oh, he didn't get him with a hand, but I think he got him with the body. And I'm like, oh, my God.
And not to mention, guys have gotten so good at selling it now.
Yes.
Right? Like, that's the other thing. You watch the replays of these, and there's a lot of times there isn't contact, but guys are so good at selling it to the officials now. But I think it's a big problem that league has, and I know their ratings are up and people are watching, and these series have been, very entertaining, to be quite honest. But it's a problem.
It's just the complaining. Meanwhile, OKC just goes about their thing. They don't say a word.
Yeah, but it was the officials that cost the Lakers that game, Joe, not the what. Well,
they got bigger
double
problems.
Digits they lost by.
You look at the matchups, and by the way, OKC apparently I didn't realize their bench was so good. Oh, my God.
OKC
who are those guys
loaded.
coming off the friggin'
loaded.
bench? Guys I never heard of getting 18 off the bench last night. Anyway, but it just, the whining does get old. Like, just play. All right, you get the call, you make your point, and then just move on.
And you have arguably the worst of them all in Draymond Green doing the studio show. Like, nobody complains worse than that guy and takes more cheap shots at people than that guy.
Yes. No. Hey, listen, not Draymond's biggest fan. I'm really not. Even trying, and they're putting him on these shows, and I know he's got a podcast and he goes after people on his podcast, and it's entertaining. I'll be honest. It is. When he says stuff, you go, wow, only Draymond could do that. I don't think Draymond's very good fit on that show with Barkley, unless you like that. I mean, Charles kind of went after him about old teams don't get better, as Draymond was trying to make a point like, when you look at, how good it is, we sell out every night. And I was like, sell out every night? I mean, that's important, don't get me wrong, but that team ain't. Barkley's point was, you guys aren't winning more championship with all these old guys on the team. He's right. He goes, well, it's not like we look like when you played with Houston at the end. Barkley took it well, though. He didn't say anything. But, yeah, the whining, getting back to the whining, is just getting old of complaining about officials. Like, if you can get better ones, let me know. Those guys are the best officials that are out there. They get graded. If they're really bad, they lose their jobs or they get demoted. So, anyway, it's an interesting one to watch and see what's going to happen. By the way, we're going to have Mike Florio join us. We've got a lot of stuff to get to with Mike Florio this morning. I don't know. I just want to say something because it's going to happen here real soon. Not this year, by the way. They're already set for the same 12-team playoff system. 24 teams in the playoffs for college football. 24. I saw somebody send in, I agree, 16, okay. 16 should take care of it. But 24, you're going to add eight off the 16? Who the hell came up with 24 teams? That's a horrible idea. Woody, can you imagine being outside the top 20 and getting an invite to the playoffs?
They're going to get rid of the conference championship game. My other big thing, we were talking about this with Dono.
I don't care about the conference.
Yeah, I don't either.
Game.
But
means nothing.
At some point, like if you're going to let 25 teams or 26, whatever, what was it, 24 teams into the playoff, maybe start getting rid of these conferences and start getting some regional rivalries back and getting some regional games back. Like, I don't want to see, teams from South Florida playing teams from California anymore in conference games. Like, we it's not necessary anymore, is it? Like, if we're going to do this whole thing where like basically the entire top 25 gets in, making conferences relatively irrelevant. Like, if we're not going to have conference championship games, what's the point of having conference schedules at this point? What are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, why not make it so that Miami is playing all the teams in Florida? Wouldn't you rather them play the Gators than play Cal?
Yeah, but
no offense to your Bears, but like, I'd rather see Miami open up with Florida than Stanford.
Okay.
Where they're playing on the complete opposite side of the country.
I'm not sure the Gators want to play the Canes every year.
Well, I'm sure they don't, but that's
well. Wait a sec, but they got control of their schedule, and they're going. Our SEC, we don't want to play.
But what I'm saying is,
Miami.
If you're going to do away with conference championship games, then ultimately, what is the purpose of the conferences? And I know that you need conferences for the other sports, the Olympic sports. But why do you need conferences for football if you're not going to play a conference championship game?
The Big Ten just gave $76 million to every one of their partners.
They did.
So why are they? What, you think you're going to break up the conference? What, you think the SEC's got to be close to that?
I just would rather see teams that are in the areas of each other play. I think those games are more interesting for fans. I think they're more easily accessible for fans. I don't know, man. And the Big Ten does it too. Big Ten travels from Jersey to LA.
There is no perfect formula out there. And I get it because we heard strength of schedule. So you can lose more games with strength of schedule. But 24 teams, just way too many for college football. Just too many, guys. I mean, come on. I mean, I know everybody's getting paid now. So it's has nothing to do with college players playing too many games. I'm not on that. I get it. Hell, if you're going to win a national championship or close to it, you get that final game, you probably played damn near an NFL schedule by now, a regular season schedule. You're just at that point. But 24 teams in the college football playoffs, are you telling me some of those teams, if you get 24 in, there's 8, 9, 10 maybe even more teams that have no shot. And matter of fact, they'll do one better. A bunch of them are going to get their ass blown out. They're going to get blown out in the first round. Look at last year. See all the blowouts? Look at what Indiana did to Alabama.
Yeah. And you will have a lot of blowouts, and you still have to let teams from the group of 5 in. You just have to, right? I mean, you can't have a 24-team playoff and not give
one of those schools a
shot.
You got to give them a bone.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I really enjoyed the Canes and Gators, and I like these. I'd rather see Miami play UCF for USF for FAU, FIU. Like, I'd rather see them play teams like that than go out west. And if all things are going to be equal, Joe, we're not going to play a conference championship game, so it's not going to matter anyway. Right? Like, wasn't that the whole point? You get to the conference championship game, you win the conference championship game, and get in the playoffs.
Why do you keep the whole Cal things here? Why do you bring up Cal not playing against Miami? I want Cal to play against Miami.
I know you do, but I'm just saying in general, I think that it would be better to get more regional games if you're not going to play a conference championship game. That's all I'm saying.
I don't really want to see you guys on my schedule. If I'm Miami, I don't want to play South Florida. Honestly, I'm not sure I want to play UCF. Yes, I want to play Florida. Selfishly, I want to play Florida. Yes, it's fun to watch. Good crowd, all that stuff.
All right.
I don't know what. I don't have all the answers, man.
No, I don't either. I'm just throwing stuff at you this morning.
24 teams is way too many when you're talking about playoffs.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a crazy number. All right. Anyway, we got to go to break here. We've got a lot more. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk will join. 76 teams for basketball now. Wow. Oh, now everybody's coming out going, what was wrong with the 60-something wasn't enough? You had to go to 76? Hey, I'm going to take a second this morning to talk to you, especially when I'm feeling better, about Atlantic Men's Clinic. ED and low T is nothing to mess with. But I got to tell you what, whether it's your energy level or your sex drive, and if it's both, I'm sorry, but it happens to every guy. Every guy. Doesn't matter what size you are, it's going to happen. Matter of fact, by the time you turn 50, you will be dealing with ED and low T problems both. And the good news is Atlantic Men's Clinic, this is one of the things they just take care of. You'll never have to worry about it. No, Atlantic Men's Clinic, I had it all. I had ED and low T so bad it was embarrassing. My energy level was shot. My sex drive was gone. It's a bad combination. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, man, I got a big problem here, and I don't know what to do. Well, these people here told me about Atlantic Men's Clinic. Said, go see them. Just go see them. And I met with them, met with their staff, got the testing done, the PSA test and all that stuff done. They came up with a program after looking at my numbers to help me. And I got to tell you, low T and ED are gone. I'm going down there today on my way home. I go to the Plantation location, but you got to set up the first appointment. They're going to make such a big, and you'll notice a difference so fast, so quickly. Just makes you feel good. It really does. Getting your energy level back and getting more out of the weekends, getting more on your vacations, especially when your family wants to go in the mountains and do a little walking. You could still do it. 877-455-7300. 877-455-7300 or visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. I go to Plantation, brand new one in Hollywood, by the way, but I will tell you this, Atlantic Men's Clinic, it works.
WQAM.
WQ AM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
All right, Joe, before we get back to the show here, let people know one more time here this morning that we have our event coming up tonight at Tabacón Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk starting at 6 o'clock. Davion Mitchell from the Heat will be there. Bernie, the Heat Dancers. You can get a Scotch whiskey from Johnny Walker and a cigar from Drew Estate. The event is free. All the info is at WQM.com. If you need any more info, you must be 21 or older. See you at 6 o'clock tonight. Tabacón Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk, presented by Ed Morse Sawgrass Auto Mall. Joe.
Yeah, Chris Atkins, our good friend, man, brings the team out there. But so WQAM team will all be out there tonight. And I always tell everybody this, you know, you don't get a lot of quality time, and some of you have never met us or maybe have wondered and want to come up. One thing about tonight, it really is about all of you, the fans, and coming up and getting a chance. And people, sometimes you've walked by or maybe met a long time ago and just get a chance to sit around and talk to us. That's what it's about. Have a drink and relax a little bit and just shoot the breeze. About all our teams and everything else that might be on your mind tonight. Bring your wife or come out by yourself and grab a drink. It starts early, and we'd love to see you out there. And we don't leave. And again, it really is. It's for all you guys to come out and hang out with us a little bit. Nobody's bothered. Please, tonight is definitely not the night to ever feel like you're bothering anybody. That's why we're having it, is for all of you who have been so loyal to listen here to WQAM. We appreciate it, whether it's on AM or FM from the Keys to Palm Beach. If you're on your way down tonight and going to stop by and make an evening of it in Broward County, man, we'd love to see you. That's all I can tell you. Love to see you and get a chance to talk to you a little bit tonight as we get set for another one of our QAM parties tonight. And we can't thank Chris Atkins and the gang enough for always supporting everything that we do. He's been great, and Teddy and all the rest of them over there have been fantastic. So anyway, we got a lot of cool things going on. We've got big 9 o'clock hour coming up. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk. By the way, Mother's Day. What do you got to do for Mother's Day? I didn't even ask you. What do you got to do on behalf of your two sons?
Were you going to steal my idea here?
That was a cheap shot. I've admitted I haven't been great at stuff.
Honestly, man, I think we're just going to do a nice little barbecue at the house.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's effort.
Yeah.
It's not about giving. It's really about the effort, right? I mean, you don't have to go and buy. What I mean is you don't have to go and buy a bunch of
I
stuff.
understand what you're saying.
You don't have to go out and buy
we'll get
something.
Some
like,
stuff
here,
from
I
the
hope
kids.
you like this. And, they want to see a little effort. So with the boys.
Yeah, I'm not big on fighting the brunch crowds out there on these holidays, because those places can tend to get a little crowded. And so just relax at home. We got baseball playoffs over the weekend.
So no. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you got good. She'll like that.
You? You got big plans?
No.
Sunday morning, call and make a reservation somewhere?
No. Catch and cut. I'm set.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard you got a lot of pull over there.
I do, man. I called Chef Andre.
Yeah.
I did. I said, Chef Andre, my man over there. Help me out, brother. Help me out.
Put it on the boat tab?
No. I do not do that. Why do you start that shit stuff? Why would you say that?
It's okay.
Because I know Bo. So what, you think I eat there for free?
Miss Bo this week, man.
Yeah.
And I do think you eat there for free. But
you don't really think that.
I think Bo's a generous guy, hopefully. To give you a discount?
I didn't ask for anything, Woody. I didn't go, hey, I'm going there. Discount, please.
Good thing nobody asked you for tables over there for help, right?
What are you saying?
Nothing. I don't want to rip the guy. He's going to be signing autographs out there tonight, so I don't want to rip him.
Oh, my God. Why take cheap shots?
It's not a cheap shot, but there are about a lot of cards sitting out there that need to be signed, so I'll talk to him.
He doesn't want to sign them.
We can, why not?
He just doesn't want, if he doesn't want to sign, why are you trying to make him sign?
Fair enough.
We got to get you new things to worry about.
You'll sign if someone comes up to you tonight, right?
Are you going to sign?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Always.
So me too.
Always. Not worried about devaluing my signature.
Why do you can't let things go?
No,
you wonder.
I don't let it go.
No, you don't let things go, and then you wonder why somebody wants to smack you in the back of the head. Your dad ever smack you in the back of the head? That's what's going to happen to you, man. It's not a good one. Hey, so anyway, we've kind of jumped all over the place here. I love this one. I did not mention it. You see the NBA draft lottery is coming up this Sunday, and boy, the Heat got to love their chances. I mean, if there's ever a chance, you believed in 1%, they got a 1% chance at the first pick and a 4.8% at getting one of the top 4 picks. Can we just get lucky once? And I'm not being a pig. I don't need the 1%. 4.8%. Let us hit one time.
I'd take a top 4. This is such a good draft.
That's what everybody's saying.
This is a monster draft, man.
Saying it's a really good one.
Yeah, it's about as good as it's been a long time.
What I see, the Panthers are picking 9th in their draft. Not that they care about drafts a whole lot.
Any thoughts on who to take at 9?
I don't know.
No? Okay.
No shot.
Trade down, trade back.
Hey.
Trade up.
They could put that on national TV and I'd watch it. And every guy that popped up, I go, please tell me about him. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like the baseball draft.
No, it's like almost all of them. You're right. That's
no draft has the buzz the NFL one does. The NBA draft has a little bit. Because I think most people saw a lot of these guys play in March. The guys that you'll recognize the names that are on the top of the draft. But
there's nobody gonna ever get
no,
this
it won't
thing.
touch that thing. No.
And and their problem is it's not a problem. It's just college football is very popular. And now I think the playoff system at the number they have right now, I don't have a problem with it. Now, you want to add a few teams just to get back that or no?
To the playoff?
Would you be all right if they went 16? I'd be okay at 16.
I mean, I don't like 24 is okay.
No, it's not okay.
I just think getting rid of the conference championship games, like that's, I don't know. I got to think about that one.
We don't need those games. We don't need those games.
So what's the point of the conferences then?
Well, here's the problem.
They're not geographically aligned anymore. So
here's the problem with it. Duke has 4 or 5 games and loses 4 or 5 games and wins it.
Okay.
Because the games they lost were all out of conference.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
Win your conference games. If we're going to play conference games.
I don't mind the conference, but there's there'd be a great model out there if these guys would just all shift to it and do what is being done in all the professional sports. Just all get together, figure out how many teams you want, and put that thing out there as a group.
You just want one mega conference.
Yeah.
So I think it does need to be like geographic, to some extent.
So you want to keep your rivalries.
Yeah. But like I told you, I would much rather see Miami play teams in the state of Florida than see them play teams in the state of California. Like that just makes a lot more sense to me.
There's 3 teams I would love to see play each other. Florida State, Florida, Miami play every year. Had to play each other.
Sure.
Love to see it.
But I'd rather see Miami play in Boca or in Doral or in, Tampa, Orlando. Like I'd much rather see them play there. I just, to me, it makes more sense. There's rivalries with the kids that go to all these schools. It's just more fun. And we'll see. Hey, man, they're going to travel out to Stanford for that opener. And, so.
You need
it's
to
just
stop
a strange one.
Cal Stanford. Stop with the distance.
Well, they should be. They should be in a conference out west. Whatever. Is there even a conference out there anymore?
Yeah, there's
Pac-2.
You always rip that.
No, but the Big Ten's got schools out there.
Cal's on its way to being a powerhouse again.
Okay. Well, they had Mendoza, right?
We lost them.
Yeah, it's a shame.
We lost them a year too damn early.
That could have been you guys playing down here.
Could have been us
for the national championship.
Yeah. I don't know if it would have made that kind of difference, but definitely would have been. Although they got a good young quarterback out there. They actually did hit the jackpot on that young quarterback they do have. All right, we got to go to break here. We got 9 o'clock hour coming up. Woody and I just 24 teams is way too friggin' many. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
WQAM's Whistle.
tonight with the first pitch at 7:10 from Lone Depot Park. You can catch the game right here on WQAM. And the Hurricanes beat Louisville 13-8. Game 2 of the 3-game series is tonight with the first pitch at 7 from Mark Light. And the Dolphins will host rookie minicamp in Miami Gardens this morning. The Dolphins' 2026 schedule will be released next week. Time for your weather report brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, helping homeowners stay safe this storm season. Visit tornadoroofing.com for a free roof and window estimate. We are moving now up to the upper 70s. Still no rain in the forecast. The Joe Rose Show continues now.
Macaques.
What is
it?
it?
Macaques. It's macaques.
It's a macaque.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Macaque.
Macaque.
Yeah.
Macaque.
Yeah.
Like
Macaque. It'd be even more macaque in Boston. It wouldn't be macaque in Boston. Macaque.
So if you're not practicing in pads, how do you get hard? How do you get physical if you're not doing that?
The throw to Ayuk inside, touchdown. Samuel leading the way. Ayuk comes inside of him.
Oh, giddy up, man. Giddy up on a Friday and a 9 o'clock hour, although it's been a very short week for me anyway here this week, Woody. And thank you so much, bud, for
work on that work.
picking up. Yeah, right. That's a good point, Woody.
No, it was all right. We had fun, man. We had fun. Dono hung with us this
yeah.
week. Omar hung with us, and Dan Day, of course.
All day, Dan Day.
Dan Day is a machine. I got to tell you. So he did the Cinco de Mayo thing this week at Duffy's out there. He had like his whole event,
and he didn't get shortchanged in the other part of it while he's out there.
And he made his way back in the next day, man. He was good to go.
He's a beast, man. All day gets after it. No question.
We need to send him on a vacation or something.
Send him somewhere.
Yeah.
Give him some rest. Oh, Woody. That's too fun. By the way, I know what they're gonna do nationally. If you're watching the shows today, it's gonna be about officiating. It's just so weak. Now listen, did LeBron have an offensive foul go against him?
Don't try to justify it, this crap.
I'm setting it up.
Come on.
But the officiating is not why you lost to Oklahoma City and why they beat you 6 straight times this year.
You don't say.
Yes.
Someone call Jaylen Brown and tell him you didn't blow that series.
Yeah. No. You guys did that to yourself. Yeah, you did that to yourself. And nobody else. We spend over the last 35 years of doing radio more time whining, and especially down here when it's one of our teams and we got screwed, we got hosed, Joe, and you won't say it because I just don't believe officiating's the only reason you lose friggin' games. There's calls that go against the other team too. Now I know when it happens and and we remember the ones at the end of the game and that was a brutal call. How do you not call that? Or why'd you call that? I'm sitting here back and I don't care about OKC and LA Lakers. I truly don't care. I don't. I'm just an NBA fan. Love to see who plays well in these big games. I do. Like watching Cade Cunningham or watching Jalen Brunson, knocking down huge shots in a tight ball game. And 76ers go ice cold at the end of the game. Maxey and the rest of them struggled. But
Game 2 of the Knicks game, it was a big problem. They were all freaking out about the officials. Hey, look, you watch this game and, they're showing the highlights, all the bad calls. These guys are experts at flopping and tricking the officials.
That's part of the problem.
It's a big part of the problem.
Chet
Holmgren goes down and he's holding his face like he just, got hit by, with a cannon. He didn't even get touched.
Right.
So they sell it very well. It's, it's kind of the soccer deal, right?
Nothing's as bad as a soccer deal.
No, but nobody
Those
sells
guys
injuries
lay
worse
down.
Yeah.
They look like they're getting ready to carry him out, and next thing you know, they score a goal.
Yeah, it looks like you're gonna have to airlift them to the hospital to get their leg chopped off, and then all of a sudden they pop back up.
Although somebody said, "Well, let's see you get kicked in the shin and see how it feels," and so that is fair.
Sure, yeah. Because a lot of times they miss, but they still sell it. But
it's just
I just don't like to hear people complaining about it so much. Like you got to come up with a better take as to why you lost the game than the officials.
Right. Nobody wants to hear.
And they're doing this now on ESPN. Was J.J. Redick right to criticize the referees?
Right.
You lost by a lot, man.
And every one of those guys have been at both ends.
125, 107 is the final.
And
Joe.
you see bad calls go against both teams. Usually if it's happening to one. Like the strike zone for one team's usually bad strike zone for the other till they put in the new system. Right? The umpires suck. These guys are terrible. Not now. Now nobody's complaining, right?
Well, it's an easy way. It's an easy excuse.
By
the way, the Lakers took 21 free throws last night. The Thunder took 26.
Yeah, that's all.
Huge disparity.
I did. I
mean, come on now.
First thing this morning, I wanted to check that out for all that whining to see if it matched up.
Yeah. They also got outscored 36-22 in the third quarter.
Yes.
So that probably didn't help them.
But it's just gets old. Just the whining about officiating that's going on. And, the guys at home usually, if you're at a home and this going on, you're like, you're right. We're getting screwed. The NBA officials, what? The NBA officials, what? They've been told by the league they don't want you in the finals. You think they want Oklahoma City ahead of the Lakers in the finals? Is that what you think the commissioner wants, really?
It's the same thing as with the NFL with holding or with pass interference.
It is.
If you watch an NBA game up close, you see that these are 7 foot tall guys that are banging into each other. And there's contact on every play. You also have guys that are experts in selling calls.
You could call pass interference on every play if you want. It's just a matter who you want to call it on. But guys are pushing each other back and forth, holding on the line of scrimmage. Of course there's holding. And unless a guy extends his arm out on the outside, which is an easy call, he doesn't let the guy go, and the guy can't rip away, and the official's right there on top of it looking for holding, especially on plays that bounce outside.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. What do you think is more difficult to do, NBA officiating or NFL?
Oh, man, that's a tough call.
Because they're both physical every time down the court.
One thing I will say is these NFL calls seem to have very significant impacts on the outcomes of the games. Whereas the NBA calls, maybe you'll get a couple calls down the stretch that are, somewhat impactful, but like you'll get those late pass interference calls tough, man.
What's the one call or non-call that you remember from last year? Everybody was talking. I'm just curious. One that sticks out.
The interception call. That was last season, right? With the Buffalo thing?
Yes.
Yeah, that one. Right?
Changed.
Cost a coach's job, changed the Super Bowl probably.
No, that thing you're right. That thing affected.
Guy clearly has the ball.
Ripped out.
He's already down. He rips it out. Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff like that. There's a lot of calls in NFL games at the late in those games that have significant impacts.
Oh, it's just
the NBA is I think their calls are tough to make, but yes, I just think the NFL calls are so impactful. And those guys get crushed afterwards. Right? think about what those guys had to go through after that call.
I know we're in basketball season right now, and it's LeBron. Now they're all whining LeBron's not getting enough calls, and he deserves better through his career. And, which, by the way, you would agree that if somebody's going to take the big fine, it's going to be the coach. The coach, one that's going to stand up and say, usually he should say, we didn't play well enough. I'm sure today he'll look at some things, see if they do them differently for getting set for game 3. But he's going to defend his superstars. He should. That's what he does. Especially JJ, since he's tight with LeBron. Anyway, we've got more stuff to get to. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk is going to join us when we come back. Stay with us.
WQAM's Whiskey
Certified to operate in Virginia.
All right, welcome back and a good morning to everybody. Happy Friday. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk joins us this morning. Mike, my gosh, man, I'm gonna change it up on you a little bit, although not completely today. But college football playoffs are talking about going to 24 teams. I don't get it, man. I like 12, maybe 16. Why would you go to 24? You're going top 20 plus 4. I don't see where you got enough competitive teams to do it, Mike. What are your thoughts?
Where did that originate, Joe?
What do you mean, where did it originate?
When I saw the report, I believe that I noticed that it came from some sort of a proposal or discussion or suggestion of the American Football Coaches Association.
Oh.
What coach wouldn't want more playoff teams? What's your ultimate litmus test for keeping your job? What's your ultimate litmus test for unlocking your bonus, especially at the college level? It's making
True.
the playoff.
You're right.
I remember when the NFL expanded from 12 to 14. Before that was official. When we just knew it was a proposal. We were at the scouting combine, and we're making the rounds with the various coaches, and we try to come up with questions that will be relevant to everyone, not just to a specific team.
Right.
And that year, one of the obvious ones is, hey, what do you think about the playoffs going from 12 to 14? They all loved it. You know why? Because you make the playoffs, you don't get fired.
Good point.
That's why.
Yeah. No.
Let's have 32 teams in the playoffs.
Hey, well, college basketball is not too far off. I'm just thinking, my God, I understand maybe Notre Dame should have been the one team that had a legit, could have won, could have beaten a lot of the teams that were in there last year. But, boy, outside of that, I had trouble getting past that, and now they're going to add all these other teams. I'm like, holy smokes. But I do understand, you're right. Hey, we got in. We got our ass kicked in the first round. But, hey, we got in there, man, to the playoffs. We got a check for you. Here it is. That's a good point.
Here's the problem, Joe. And it's kind of like coming up with the invitation list for your wedding. Where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
And wherever you draw the line, there's going to be somebody on the other side of it that's going to be pissed. And they're going to be able to make a strong case for why they should have been there. So you draw the line a little farther to encompass that person. You know what you do? You draw the line in a spot where there's going to be one person on the wrong side of it who's going to be pissed.
Right.
Wherever the line is going to be drawn, you're going to have the team that didn't make it by a whisker be upset. And the only way to completely neutralize that argument is to draw the line so far out that the team on the other side is not plausibly suited to winning a championship. So if you take it all the way to 24 in football, all the way to 76 in basketball, team 77, team 25, any argument that they have a right to be there, people are just going to roll their eyes. Notre Dame, hey, Notre Dame could have run the table and won the whole damn thing. But if you get down to
no, I agree. I'm with you
West
on that
Virginia,
part. Yeah,
I'll be unselfish here. If the Mountaineers had been the last, and they wouldn't have even been 25, would have had to go 50. had to go 76 at the football level for West Virginia to be on the bubble. But when you get toward the teams that have no shot at all, if those are the teams that are on the outside looking in, then they can't argue. Here's the problem, though. You know what happens? You get a lot of people at the wedding who shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
you get a lot of teams in the tournament who shouldn't be there. You're going to get a lot of blowouts.
That's right.
Look at all the blowouts that this current format has generated. And I think they tweaked it a little bit, or they're going to. I don't follow it enough to really be well-versed in all the nuances. But, you know, when and you can make the argument, and I think the actual performance defied that this year, but the first year of the current format, the 4 teams that had byes were at a disadvantage because the next 4 teams got to host lesser teams in December, beat the crap out of them,
right?
Kept the saw sharp, caught the teams that earned the byes flat-footed at a neutral site, and beat them. That first year, it was across the board. 5, 6, 7, 8 beat 1, 2, 3, 4, and you know that's part of this too. So you're going to get first round games that are every bit as compelling as week 1 games when it's the University of Miami against Prairie View A&M.
Right. No, hey, listen, we saw, to your point, the 2 teams from smaller conferences, they got beat up in the first round of these playoffs, which nobody was surprised about. Hey, I got a bunch of other stuff here. Aaron Rodgers back with his team. He called his own shot, and he got it back. You know why they waited for him? Because he's so much better than Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, and Drew Aller. And Aller, they had no shot, but, I mean, they had to take him back, Mike, and pay him. He's much better than all 3 of those guys, and their best chance to win that division again.
I've been busy this morning, and I haven't been on social media. I haven't been checking the usual sources. Is it done? Is the deal done?
No, you don't think somebody must have leaked it out though that he's on his way back. He must have.
Well, okay, so that's where we are. So let's remember that even though he decided to show up this weekend in Pittsburgh, and it was reported yesterday by one of the reporters covering the Steelers that they didn't know he was coming to town. And my understanding is that the reaction in the building was basically, that's just Aaron being Aaron. Like, there isn't a deal. And there are people that are saying, oh, it's not about money. Well, if it's not about money, there should be a deal, because that's the only thing there is to negotiate. The NFL contract is a very standard document. And all of the terms are pre-negotiated through the CBA. The only thing left to negotiate is the salary and the structure. How much are we going to pay?
Right.
What's the signing bonus? How much is going to be guaranteed? What's the trigger going to be next year? We're going to have to cut him in early March. Is there some big balloon payment there that's aimed at making it a one-year deal? There's all these things that have to be worked out. And there's been no report, and I just checked, there's no report that there's an agreement on a contract, a tentative agreement, pending dotting I's, crossing T's, whatever. That tells me that they don't have an agreement on money. And, it's not about the money. Well,
it is. Yes.
The Steelers got him last year for $13.65 million. And, Joe, I would submit to you that anytime we get something cheaper than we know we should be paying for, whatever it is, Peacock for a year
yes.
at $3.99. When the price goes up, we're not happy. We want the introductory rate. Rodgers gave the Steelers the introductory rate last year, and I don't think he's willing to extend it by another year. Sometimes when you call up, and I've had this experience with a couple of things I've subscribed to, when you call up when it's time to renew and pay the full price and you say you're going to cancel, all of a sudden they offer to extend the introductory rate.
Right.
So, and from the Steelers' perspective, like they could call his bluff. Where else is he going to go? Where's he going to go? Is he going to go to the Cardinals and be the quarterback of a 5-12 team in the NFC West? Does he want that to be his last year in the NFL, dealing with the 49ers, the Seahawks, and the Rams this year, and a schedule that also includes all 4 AFC West teams, all 4 NFC East teams, and fourth place schedule that also includes the fourth place Detroit Lions from the NFC North? The Cardinals have no practical reason to believe they're going to be good this year. They could be. We can't rule it out, but they have no reason to believe they could be. Why? That's his alternative right now. And this is the key, Joe. The chess move that the Steelers made last week takes away Rodgers' best alternative to signing with the Steelers. His best leverage is to do nothing and wait and see what transpires and see if an opportunity emerges by way of injury or whatever for a team to sign him during the season that presents a more viable shot to get to the playoffs and go deeper than the farthest the Steelers have gone the past 10 years.
Right.
They're one and done when they do make it to the playoffs. They haven't won a playoff game. Think about it.
You know, though, Mike,
in 10 years.
I just look at this. They go 10-7. They win the AFC North. I know what happened in the Ravens game, but they won. Rodgers threw 24 touchdowns and 7 picks, and I saw him up close on a Monday Night Football game. He destroyed us. And I'm looking at him coming back at 43, and he can physically still throw it. He may not move as well, but he could still physically throw it. And then I look at those 3 guys as that team's always looking to win. He gives them their best chance. I know that he's thinking, you guys need to give me some more money if you really want me. But I want to let you know I'm still interested. That's why I'm coming back here. Don't you think that was kind of his game plan?
Well, and it may be, Joe, and look, with Aaron Rodgers, it's impossible to know exactly what he's thinking because I think that's part of his shtick. He wants to create and maintain a mystery, and then when people speculate on what's really going on, he reserves the right to complain about everybody talking about him, even though he's deliberately created circumstances that are conducive to people wondering what the hell he's doing. But maybe he's coming back to try to force this to a head. You don't want to pay me what I'm looking for?
Right.
I'm just going to show up. I'm going to back you into a corner because really, this is amazing. Think about it. He doesn't have any other viable alternative. They don't have any other viable alternative. So what is it going to take for him to feel like he's being fairly compensated a year after giving them a below-market introductory rate? What's it going to take? And one name that has come up in the conversations I've had with people, not people with the Steelers, but just generally as we're trying to figure out what's it going to take, Malik Willis, $25 million a year. Okay, a guy's had 6 career starts. Is it reasonable for Rodgers to say, I want $25 million? If the guy who was a backup with the organization where I won 4 MVPs and a Super Bowl,
right?
If a guy who was a backup there is getting $25 million a year, I need at least $25 million. Otherwise, it's an embarrassment. You know, there's a point where it just looks bad. I remember in 2020 when Tom Brady, Drew Brees, both were getting $25 million on not necessarily one-year deals, but if we're getting $25 million for 2020. Phillip Rivers joins the Colts at $25 million. It's like, oh, Phillip, I'm sorry, all due respect, $25 million for Phillip Rivers at this point. But sometimes you got to pay the guy.
Right.
You know, it's like the lawyer can't drive around a beater like Saul Goodman in the early seasons of Better Call Saul. You got to create an image that, you know, I got a nice car, like I got a nice contract, like I'm the guy. And last year he chose to give them the introductory rate. This year, I think that they're going to have to pay up, but they feel like they don't have to.
Yeah. Wow.
And if they had an agreement, we'd hear it by now. We would know that they had an agreement on money. And that's the thing. It was a different vibe this year. And last year, he gave them the Mike Tomlin discount. And the Mike Tomlin discount doesn't apply because Mike Tomlin doesn't work here anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, so we're still doing articles. I don't know what's going to die down. I got old schoolers going, Joe, will you stop with this relationship with Vrabel and Rossini? And then we got the rented boat stuff comes out, and she's pregnant, and there he is again. And it just picks up steam once again. Mike, how are you guys treating it at Pro Football Talk as these pictures keep coming out? And I guess there's no reason to believe there won't be more pictures coming out of those two together.
And, Joe, here's the reality, and we wrestle with this on every additional development, but we got to look at the big picture. It became a football issue 2 weeks ago when Mike Vrabel decided he was not going to be with the Patriots for the third day of the draft, which is a big deal. It's a massive thing. For a head coach to not be present for rounds 4 through 7 of the draft, and as Elliot Wolf, the VP of Player Personnel in New England, said, he's a tremendous recruiter. So much of what happens on the last day of the draft is getting people on the phone and lining up the undrafted free agent contracts before the draft ends. Even though it's a violation of the rules, everyone does it. You've taken that guy out of the room, that guy who's just got that life force. He's the force of nature. He gets you on the phone and he says, come on, man, we need to know something. Let's go. Does he want to be here? Does he not want to be here? We're going to move on to somebody else. We need to know. And that goes on. It's amazing how aggressive the teams are trying to get guys to commit to free agent deals before the draft ends.
Right.
And obviously, if a guy gets drafted, it goes out the window, but they want to have their classes lined up. And you'll see teams announce that night. After the draft ends, they'll announce their new class of undrafted free agents. Those deals are done during the draft. That hurts the Patriots. It makes it a football issue. And on one hand, the argument is, okay, we know what happened. These additional stories are just further proof of something that's already been proven.
Correct.
Like, it's already been proven. Why does this matter? Here's why it matters. One of these developments is going to be the development that makes it impossible for Mike Vrabel to do the two things that he's now focused on doing, which is putting out the fire in his personal life and coaching the team. And when we get to training camp and the job takes over your life, you got to clear the decks of everything. The full family focus is the coach's job. The coach needs to be all in from the start of training camp until the last game of the season, whenever it may be, whether it's week 18 or whether it's the Super Bowl or somewhere in between. The whole focus is that job. And everybody in the family unit understands it and supports it. You've got this fire that is raging. And every once in a while, here comes TMZ or Page 6 to throw a canister of jet fuel on it. And at some point, we don't know. That's the thing. One thing we've learned over the last 31 days, you never know when the next development's coming or what it's going to be. At some point, I think we would have to expect that Diana Rossini is going to tell her story. What's she going to say? What's that going to do to undermine whatever Mike Vrabel has been saying to put out the fire? Just look at, I'll give you just one example, this boat thing. Let's just, and I try to attack this as a reasonable, common sense person would. I think it's fair to assume, and I hate talking about the personal situation, but he made it part of the story when he explained he's missing the draft because of this personal situation. It's now fair game. He's opened the door to it.
Yeah.
I would assume at some point his wife said, here's a pad of paper and a pen. I want you to write down every time you were with her. I want to know the whole story. I want to know all of it. Don't leave anything out. I want to know all of it. We're going to fix this. I need to know exactly what it is we're fixing. What if a Gilligan's Island style 3-hour tour of Lake whatever in Tennessee? What if that wasn't on the list?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And then you see, and here's the thing, it's like the Ray Rice elevator video, even though it's two entirely different contexts, but there's a difference between seeing the piece of paper that had both of their signatures on it, the waiver that they had to sign. That's what hit Wednesday. Then here's the video Thursday of the two of them walking up and down the dock, and she's extremely pregnant, and he's got that, that unmistakable Mike Vrabel strut.
Right.
I mean, you see that. Like, every one of these developments potentially makes the fire reach the point where the only way he's going to put it out is to, and I think the way it would go is take a leave of absence. Josh McDaniels takes over the team for a year, and Vrabel spends the balance of 2026 getting this thing under control, and then maybe comes back. That's why it's relevant, because there's a tipping point out there. And I think we hit the tipping point when the photos came out from March of 2020, 2 weeks ago.
Man.
And I just think it's just a matter, what's the straw that breaks the camel's back? And every one of these new developments could be that straw. That's why even though we know what happened, that's why these ongoing developments are relevant.
Mike, I got to tell you, man, it's wild. Just when you think we've seen everything around this game, it's incredible. Hey, bud, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on this morning. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Joe. See you, buddy.
All right, Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk joining us this morning. Hey, right now, real quick, I want to tell you about Mike Okatsi at Choice Mortgage. Hey, yeah, that man, Mike Okatsi, that's a working man now. You talk about great service to get you a mortgage quickly, get you that second mortgage quickly, get you the best rates. He's got a bunch of great programs. First-time home buyers with very little money down. It gets done quickly for you to get back in that game and get that home you really want, that first home. When you talk about Mike Okatsi, whether it's debt consolidation or anything else, maybe it's a reverse mortgage. You're 62 or older. You and your spouse qualify for this. And I want to let you know, man, he makes them happen quickly. You got all that equity in your home, and you could really use that money. This man works 7 days a week, 30 years in the business. Mike Okatsi at Choice Mortgage. Call or text him 561 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. 30 years of experience, MLS 166254. Rates and terms are subject to change daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender. Go to Google Reviews on the web. Choice Mortgage Reviews. You'll like Michael Kotze.
Time for your stock market report, brought to you by Anadjar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Market has just opened up. The Dow up 200 points. The NASDAQ up 200 points. And the S&P up 33 points.
Traffic on WQ.